Hello there, friends, and welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me, as always, are my good friends, Eric. Eric, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm
He
back.
just
Everybody
showed
thought
up.
you
Back.
fired me, Wes. Everybody thought you fired me.
But I kind of did. Did you not get the?
I didn't get the memo.
bro?
So I'm just I'm like what was the guy's name? Jim from The Office. He just kept showing up. they stopped paying him and everything. He kept showing up. Or what was it? Office Space, I think the movie was.
Yeah.
My red
Awkward.
stapler.
Yeah.
was
What
told
was
to
the
be
guy's
fake.
name?
I was told to be
Yeah.
fake.
Ruuts. What are we gonna do now? We've got our boy Escape Portal starting next week, and now Eric's back. Like,
Oh, damn.
should we
That
have
is
them
awkward.
fight to the death?
Well, I think that would be probably a little bit extreme, but I think maybe just a fight would be fun. Doesn't need to be to
I'm
the
down.
death, right?
I'm down.
All right, sweet. I think we have a plan. Welcome back, everyone, to Strangers in the Night. I think this is our second one this year, Roots. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I think so. We've been a little bit slow on this particular part of the show, but it's about to pick up, is what I'm guessing, right?
Well, I mean, we're just going to wing it and do it as we can, right? When we're able, we'll do one, and when we're not, we'll skip. And I guess this is 3 if we count the one with the Arizona Sunshine where D and I co-opt and you did commentary. So we've got 3 under our belts this year. And yeah, man, it's tough. It is tough to get in here on a Friday and do an episode these days, just because and I'm sure it's the same for you, Eric. Like, I don't have time to play VR all week until about 7 or 8 o'clock on Friday evening, and then I have to just go for it. Lucky for me, I got a little bit of OVRDARK in on Wednesday, so I could just focus on Max Mustard today.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, pretty much. It's tough to get VR time in nowadays. But yeah, I got a little bit of OVRDARK in earlier in the week, and then I hit it again this afternoon, and then just jumped in a little Max Mustard just to refresh. But I've been playing Max Mustard for 6 months, so I think I've got enough of it.
Listen to Eric.
This man legitimately thinks that he is better than us.
I could go into OVRDARK anytime. Oh, wait.
What? No, you can't. Sorry.
I can. I just can't get it to run for some reason on my particular rig. If it was a PC, I'd say, okay, your PC's got a conflict, but it's like, this doesn't happen on Sony, so I don't understand what's going on. It's very bizarre. I know Dee's even tried to load it up. It just doesn't want to show on my headset, so it's very weird.
Some people were talking earlier in chat that said there was a patch that actually broke it. Black screen. You could hear audio, but it had black screen.
That's it.
But
fuck, I
I
should have
don't-
tried it on Wednesday. Damn it.
You know what? I haven't tested the game to make sure it's going to work on my end.
I played it tonight.
Okay.
For probably like, I don't know, another half hour maybe, or 40 minutes.
Because I tried it after that patch. There was a new patch today, and I thought, oh, God, there's a new patch. I'm going to get to play this game. I guess I'll have to go into it soon. So, Mr. Cherry Man says, I can't play either.
Okay.
So a lot of people are having the same issue. D says I'm a little low roots, but I don't know if you can do much about that now.
Yeah, well, okay, I can't, I can turn you up on this, but I turned you down on in OBS to me because you were really loud in my ear because I don't know why, but I've got you all the way up now. We'll see in OBS.
Rondo says that for some people, disabling 120 hertz out in the settings fixes the problem.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'll give it a shot. I wish I would have known that before the show, but that's all right. It's
to be honest, I don't even know what my settings are then, because again, it worked fine for me, but I don't know. I don't even know where my settings are at.
Yeah, I played it earlier in the week and it worked fine. I did not try it today because I played so much Max Mustard that I burned my time. I meant to put a little bit of time into it before showtime tonight, but literally my entire 90 minutes from the time that I set the show page up all the way up until the scheduled show time was spent trying to find a solution to do the real time review tonight. I just bought these Sony headphones.
They're very pretty.
150. They're nice. They sound good and they work very well. Except for what I bought them for. And the reason why I bought these is because you can connect simultaneously to your PlayStation and another Bluetooth device, and it works on both. The only problem is, as I found out during my setup, when you're using these on the PlayStation, social screen audio ceases to work, which means that my capture card doesn't get any game audio, which means nobody in the audience can hear game audio. So I spent $150 on these so I wouldn't have to wear the earbuds with the headphones over it anymore when I do one of these episodes. And sure enough,
you're going to have to wear them,
right?
Got
to do that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but look how pretty they are. Come on. They're really, really pretty.
They do look nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, they don't look nearly as nice on me as they do Looper. Looper came out to Boston last weekend when we were there for the GameCat meetup, and he had this shit on the whole weekend, around his neck, on his ears, and they look super cool on him.
It was like just a look that he was going for.
Well, I'm gonna start it too. Radio Run says VR ears. That's what you need. Speaking of Radio Run,
don't close your eyes.
That's the best clip ever. Next to D's.
You don't take no shit from anyone. You don't take no shit from anyone.
Or this one.
Talk to y'all later.
Does D not take some shit from anyone?
Oh, she didn't take no shit.
You don't take no shit from anyone.
You didn't hear that?
You don't take no shit
from anyone. Not even from Radio Run when he's closing his eyes.
Oh.
Don't close your
yeah
eyes.
No, she doesn't. But what was funny is she couldn't she never heard that song. That's what was weird about it. But yeah, no,
how is that even possible? That is one of the all-time classic songs. Like how that there's no way.
Yeah.
Wes, maybe sing her a few notes. Maybe she'll understand it. Maybe she'll get it.
No, she watched the video. She didn't. She's like, I've never heard this song before.
Yeah. So
Kix is a Baltimore band. Baltimore, they're awesome, man. They still perform now.
Radio Run says D doesn't take shit from anyone in Wreckfest, which reminds me earlier to his comment to you, Eric, and to you as well, Wes. He said, we need Wreckfest in VR for flat to VR. Flat to VR gaming. So we need it.
I agree with the sentiment.
I don't disagree.
And we've got lots. I don't know if I've even shared this with you, Eric, but we've got a few emails from fans who are now taking it upon themselves to tell us which games that we should be bringing into VR.
Well, there you go.
And I tell them all the same thing. Thank you for the suggestion. Now go tell the studio. Go tell the studio that owns the IP that this game needs to come into VR. Because that's what the biggest deciding factor is going to be for any title is they need to know that there's an audience for it, that there are people out there that want it. And if, money talks, and if people line up with their wallets in hand, then things tend to happen. So
Grip is cool in VR, but I think Wreckfest would blow it away. Like Wreckfest is just amazing.
I would like to just be able to get Grip on PlayStation VR. Like, I think that would be fucking awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, or standalone Quest would be fun for Grip.
Indeed.
I think any of those are great. Any chance you can get VR to where there's a lot of people, which is PlayStation and standalone Quest, I think is a good thing. And I think Wes said it really good. Nothing's off the table. Like literally, I mean, a big part. Most of my time right now is being spent just working on getting, talking to IP holders, talking to some of these classic IP holders or just flat IP holders and just seeing what what we can do and what we can work with, and nothing really is off the table. Like I'll send us all your wants. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll try.
Be careful. You know
World
what you're
of
going to
Warcraft,
get.
We actually have it coming at the end of the year.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm done.
Because
I'm
I know
out.
that would be the one you'd be like, give me World of Warcraft or don't give me anything.
Hey, well, there's so many different games. I'm open to so many different things. I've been enjoying the hell out of Crash Bandicoot, and there's a whole slew of different games out there that are amazing. So
we need to bring Ruuts' Hot Wheels game over.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool, because that was one of the things I said in Discord today, and people were talking about Hot Wheels Unleashed too, and Tech was talking about it, the anti-cheat again, and he was saying that I guess we can't play it multiplayer, and I said that's my point. So what I've been saying a couple weeks ago is we need these studios to make a legit port, or flat to VR to make a legit port for the studio or the developer, and so that we can play those games that have those anti-cheat, those multiplayer games, or those World of Warcraft games. So
yeah, and with the new processor in the Quest 3 and the new Meta headset that's rumored for later this year, I think you're right, Eric. I think a lot of these games we could probably get running in a pretty good state on standalone after the industry moves past Quest 2, and I think that's about to happen. I think the industry is about to move past Quest 2.
How crazy.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. We're talking to developers now that are already like, I know of a developer who's already starting to create for other headsets that are coming down the road that aren't even announced yet. So like Quest 2 is going to be gone very, very soon. You're not going to be able to do anything on it. It's going to be like the Quest 1 where it holds everything back so much. You're going to have to let it go at some point. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the coolest things about doing what we're doing now. And Wes gets to see it too, is like, I'm bringing stuff to like Brachyparda and Kabbalistic, and I'm going, can we do this? And to see the look in their eyes, and they're like, yeah, maybe I think we could do it. And I'm like, what, really? Because I'm bringing stuff to them going, do you think it's possible? Could we do this on Quest 3? And when you see those guys, I mean, these guys are brilliant. I mean, we know Kabbalistic did Half-Life 2 in VR. Brachyparda did Firewatch and Outer Wilds and, some other amazing things. To be able to work with these guys every day now and see like what they're capable of and see their eyes light up and go, yeah, we could do that. We could maybe do this. So
yeah, and the SDK gets better every month too. It's like, even if something wasn't possible 3 months ago, that doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't now. It continues to be optimized. It continues to get better. Developers continue to get new tools and tricks from the platform holders, and and that's just on all of the hardware that's out now. And like Eric said, there's new hardware coming that's going to revolutionize everything all over again. So it's an exciting time, both for us, working at Impact, and for all the gamers out there that get to reap the benefits of all of these games hitting the library.
So we've agreed Wreckfest is coming to VR. We heard it here today. The rumor started. Granted, the rumor came out of my mouth. So
Ruuts has to quit his job now and come make Wreckfest. I hope you're ready to code.
Oh man, I actually NVIDIA, the head of NVIDIA said don't learn to code. He said AI will be doing it. Yeah, AI will be doing it in the next few years. So
and people will be doing it with AI in the next few years.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Think about this. Yeah, who doesn't? Who wants to be doing it with AI?
My mom.
Think about this.
Would she close her eyes when she does it?
Don't close
your eyes. My thing is I feel like AI is these robots that Elon is making, right? Was the Groot robot? I don't think they're just gonna stop at folding laundry. You know what I mean? I think that'll like be the next sex robot, and that'll be something that people will want you to bring. That's what I was saying. Don't open that door, Eric, because you said any requests or what people want. There's porn out there. There's all sorts of things people want. You don't want your part of that. Leave that to some other seedy company.
Agreed.
Oh man. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're starting to do what we said
Oh,
that we shouldn't
right.
do.
Let's not do it.
So let's get down to business here and say hello to our friends in chat. Jen 007, a license to chill, is in the chat, as is Chrome Colossus and Radio Run. Tatum's here. Salvador's here. I got to meet Salvador, Ruuts. I got to meet
nice.
Salvador and his lovely wife last week. Thank
That's
you,
cool,
Salvador, for coming out and hanging out with us. But yeah, it was super
that
cool.
close to going. I was that close, like, literally.
You
that
should have,
close.
man. It was a good time. It
You
was
should.
perfect, man.
How was meeting Brian and everybody in person, Wes? That must
It
have
was
been...
great, man.
Yeah.
It was great. Our hotel that we stayed in was so cool that they let us just kind of camp out in the lobby, and the lobby was perfectly set up for a group of our size. So we just literally stayed in the lobby most of the time that we were there. They let us drink and let us just hang out and record an episode. BJ from Urban Wolf Games, Legendary Tales developer, came and hang out with us on Saturday night, and we got to hang out and talk to him. It was a great time. We had, I don't know, a few dozen game cats descend upon the hotel. Miles came over from the UK. We had former host Jeremy King stop by and said hello. I mean, it was
Wow.
It was a party, and it was fun.
That's crazy. Eric, you could have been a part of it. What happened?
Sorry, I missed it, man. It was just too much, man. I spent the whole week in San Francisco, like literally running from meeting to meeting, and then I had to be there till Friday, and I was gonna have to fly into Boston Friday night, and I wouldn't have got there really until probably Saturday morning, and it was just gonna be too much. But
Yeah.
I wanted.
Well, guess what? Next year it's happening in May, so
Thank
it won't
God. Like, why
clash.
would you take
Yeah.
these two huge conferences, GDC, the Game Developers Conference, and then PAX East, and then jam them all in the same week? So stupid.
Yeah, it
Why
was so
not?
dumb. There was no fucking VR there. Like Shell Games was pretty much it, and it was sad.
Well, that's just it too. Is like nobody can do both. Like literally, so you had all these other VR games that are at the Game Developers Conference that may have done PAX. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so you can only choose. You can choose so many. Like they're especially for VR developers, they're not most of them aren't $1 million companies that can afford to have two separate teams. Go, because that's what a lot of flat games did. They'll have a team go to GDC, have a team go to PAX, but that's like super expensive. So. I think if you want to see a good representation of VR, you got to have it, just 1 week for something like that, and then you would, because there was probably 6 or 7 games, maybe 8 games, on the floor at GDC, and then there was some hotel rooms where they were doing demos too. So there was probably, I don't know, maybe probably 10 or 12 games, VR games shown at GDC, which they may have been at PAX if there was a break in between.
Chrome Colossus said Sony should have fun. I agree. Imagine, and we were talking about this. Imagine if Sony would show up at something like PAX, which has gamers that attend. It's not an industry event; it's a consumer event. Imagine if they show up with 8 racing rigs all in a row with VR headsets with Gran Turismo on it, head to head. I mean, imagine how many headsets they could sell with all these. Thousands and thousands of people walking through there. And there absolutely is an appetite for it. Shell Games had a line the whole time. Every time I walked by there was a line. And that was for Silent Slayer. Imagine what something like Gran Turismo would draw. It would be a big deal, and they would sell some real headsets.
Definitely.
And they get people talking about their fucking headset that nobody's talking about, right? So.
Right. Let's see who else is here. SpryGuy's here. What's up, SpryGuy? Techno Glitch and Philozix. Philozix came in and hang out with us. He gave me a ride home when I didn't want to wait in the cold on the shuttle. So
Nice.
What's up, Philo? Good to see you.
How was his driving?
Well, I mean, it was sufficient to get us through the fucking madness.
It
that's
wasn't
Boston.
cold. I got it.
Yeah. Who else is here? Let's see. Lee VR's here. Elvert was there. Got to hang out with Elvert again. That was cool. Too Cool is here. Escape Portal says, thanks for keeping my seat warm, Eric.
Got you covered, bro.
Mr. Cherryman is here, as is Fluke Rogie. Chinatown D's hanging out as usual. What up, D? Alakazam's here. Quadzilla's here. Mr. Lord Beavis. Jerk Store CEO. Brondo's here. Rogue TR was here. True Prophecy 22 is here. And that is as far up as I can scroll. Did we have any slippies today? I don't think so. I think that's it. So if I missed you, apologize. Thanks everyone for staying up late. Thanks for waiting on us. Thanks for waiting on me to try to get my my audio issues in order. And then, you know, after we get that in order, apparently Masher's microphone, it's her time of the month. So
and then I started having camera issues. So it literally was one thing after the next, right? But we got it all set, right?
But we are here now. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want to show you guys one thing before we get into it, though. Mickey Barrios was at GDC, helped us run our flat to VR booth at GDC, doing demos and stuff. And he made something for you guys, and he gave it to me. I haven't had a chance to send him to you
yet.
But he made something, and I figured I'd show it off. I showed it off yesterday on my show.
Is it something made out of macaroni?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Because that would be cool.
Weird. Why would you guess? It's crazy you guess that.
Macaroni headset. Oh, that's fucking cool.
That is really cool. That's awesome.
Focus. The Virgin Strangers.
Okay. See, this is the type of shit.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is even cooler.
Oh, dude.
Fuck. That's awesome.
That is awesome. You know what's funny is like when if I have that on my keychain and somebody like doubts that I'm famous, dude, I can show them like I got a fucking keychain and somebody in my community made this for me.
There's one more.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, focus. Doesn't want to focus.
Oh.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
Oh, hold on. You got to see what it says. I don't think it's going to get it.
I can't see. I see that there's words over there.
It probably says something like, you know who else, something.
It says, you know who loves you. And on the back, it says, my mom.
I thought I was going to say Mickey Bear and my mom.
Oh, why it won't focus. There it goes.
There you go. There you go.
My mom in the front says.
Awesome.
Eric's hands magic.
You know.
That is awesome. You know what else loves Eric's hand?
Yeah, right? My mom. But Mickey,
all right.
did a nice job. I got a whole bunch for you guys. I'll send them to you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Mickey. That's awesome.
And I guess since we're showing off fan art, I showed this to Eric earlier today.
Yeah, this
I might as well
cool.
break it out. Hold on, just
I don't have any fan art to break out. Oh shit!
I'm gonna make my daughter draw you some fan art.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh man!
All right. So, Kill Artist, the Dreamweaver Game Cat, is very good with colored pencils. Turn my CD17 off for a moment so everyone can see that.
I can't see it. I can see a little bit of your face.
Bing. There we go. You can see my ring light.
Oh yeah,
cool,
that is cool.
Yeah, so he drew all that with colored pencils, man. That's sick.
Yeah, he said he took colored pencils and he said he heated it or something. And
that is awesome, dude. Did he make one for each one of you, Wes?
He drew one and then made prints.
Oh, okay, that
so
makes sense.
He only drew
that'd
one.
Be a lot of work if he only
drew one. Come on, man.
You're so lazy.
Yeah,
that thing probably took fucking months.
I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Imagine.
Oh my god, that is so cool, dude.
But it was awesome. It was awesome. We made it, Ruuts. We're starting to get cool shit like keychains and dog tags.
That is cool.
And drawings.
It was cool to see Dave in there too, on that.
Yeah.
I still have Dave's soundbite. somewhere here that he had insisted on we record that night.
That was
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I love it.
It was a good episode. Dave was very enthusiastic.
Yeah, he was.
Anyways, why don't we talk about Max Mustard, guys? I think that's the headline. I think that's the main event. I think that's why most people are showing up here. They want to know, is this game living up to the hype? And like you, Eric, I played a very early version of this a long time ago, but I put it down, man. I had not picked it up in months until the launch version dropped this past week. And, well, I mean, before I get into some of my thoughts, why don't we start with you, Eric? What are you thinking of Max Mustard?
I mean, I love platformers in VR, and if you do one that's done well, I mean, I think it's phenomenal. And like this one's done really, really well. I mean, I think there's enough new stuff here that gets you away from maybe some of the classics that we already know. And again, we don't have a ton. It's not like we have a platformer come out every week. So, you know, I think Max is great. I think the mechanics are great. I think the visuals are great. I think it's one of the best platformers we have on here, and I'm sure we'll get into ranking. I mean, that was one of the big things last night on my show. Everybody wants to rank, you know, because we only got like a handful of them. Everybody wants to rank them and figure out what one's best. And you know, I don't think anything will ever beat Astrobot, but I mean, I think this is a very, very good effort. And if you are a platform fan, this is a must-buy for you, I think.
Definitely better than Marvels. I'll say that.
Better than Marvels, yes.
Roots, what was your expectations coming in for this thing?
My expectations were that it was probably going to be pretty good, you know, but I mean, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I was telling you earlier, you know, Lucky's Tales back in the day was pretty good, but it was like, I love platformers. Like when I play a platformer, I want it to be like a traditional platformer. I want to be jumping on walls. I want to be doing everything that I've ever done in every platformer. And that was what I was hoping to find. Actually that's exactly what I found. You know, this is me playing the game, this gameplay today of the second level for the first time, or the second world, Arc 2. And I thought the first one was good. Like I really enjoyed the first one. A lot of people say it's a little bit slower, or not as, it's a little bit easier, I guess is the way to say it. I don't think it's too easy. I think it gets harder. It ramps up. I'm halfway through the second world now. It's just gotten harder and harder in a good way. I'm struggling really to find anything that I can really say that I don't like about this game. And that's kind of what I went into playing it. I was going to say, okay, what can I find that I don't like about it? And so far I don't know if I've found it.
No, there's not a whole lot here that they've missed on. Like what they've done right. I do think there are some very small nitpicky areas of opportunity that we can point out, and I'm sure we will before we get done talking. But everything that they've done here, they've done a pretty good job. In fact, Eric, I would say that this game is heavily inspired by Astrobot. Like you're right, it's not quite on that level, but Astrobot's a AAA game from Sony with millions of dollars put into it, and this is this is an indie game from the people that brought us Richie's Plank. This game honestly has no right to be as good as it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not easy to nail a platformer. I had Richie on my show last night, and you know, I was like, it's a departure, it's a pretty big departure from Richie's Plank experience to making a platformer. And platformers, there's a reason why there's not a ton of them in VR, because you have to make them pretty damn good, and you have to nail that gameplay loop, because it's not like when you're doing anything in VR, that frustration level can get too high to where you just nope out and you take the headset off. It's not that same thing when you're sitting in front of your TV playing on a console, and you can have popcorn here and a soda here, and you're relaxed, and you can have to play a level over 20 times, and it's no big deal. you're in a headset, it's hot, you're not as comfortable as you'd want to be. If you give people frustration to the point where it's not fun anymore, they're out, they're gone. They're going to take the headset off and do something else, or they'll go to a different game. So you have to find that fine level of challenging but rewarding enough to keep you going and give you that one more. Okay, I just got through that level. It took me forever. I want to see what comes next. Like, what maneuver can I do now? And that's one of the good things I think it really does. And you could probably talk this a little bit more, Wes, because I think it gives you enough of different stuff level to level. Like, that's what a true platformer does. You're not always doing the same things over and over again. You get different moves. You get different types of maneuvers. You have to get through the environment differently through every level, and I think there's enough variety here to make it probably one of the better ones out there.
Yeah, it's something like 40 levels, I think this game has. All in all, a lot of content here. Way more than even like VR Adventure had. And you're right. There's a pretty good variety here with regard to level design. There is a nice set of abilities that you develop as you play through. The game rewards you for collecting coins. It isn't just about getting extra lives now. That's how you literally progress the character abilities. With that said, Ruuts, this was something different than we've ever actually seen from any VR platformers before. We haven't ever seen one that sends you to the store with your money to buy your abilities. What did you think about that?
I thought it was amazing because like I don't want to get the coins, dude. Like I normally blow through the coins. Like what do I get? A life? Ooh, I got an extra life. You know what I mean? Like usually it doesn't matter, but like here it mattered, and it wasn't like just in the first. So I got to the first store, worked my way through the first world, bought everything that was there, except for I had one left. I think the piggy bank or something. And so I got to the second world and I see there's a store there, and I thought, oh, how fucking cool, man. Like, because my worry was that, okay, yeah, they added some abilities and that's how they kind of made it cool. That would have been cool enough. But like they give you another set. And then I saw the Skiva and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to get the Skiva, dude. You slam down your ass on shit. And I think it's cool that it's named after one of the coolest guys I know. And yeah, I thought it was cool. I think it's a big win for this game. And
who loves to slam her ass down on shit?
My mom.
Oh yeah, you know who else loves the Skiva?
My mom.
That actually sounds like that may not sound like a good thing, but yeah, no, that's a cool move.
So, in terms of gameplay, I would say that this thing's pretty 1-to-1 with Astrobot. Like the way that the character handles the move set, the way that the levels are kind of laid out, all very reminiscent of Astrobot Rescue Mission. Really, the biggest differences are cosmetic, aesthetic differences. Like there's a little bit more, and again, these are first impressions. I haven't finished the game yet, so this could be something that very well turns as you play through the game. Maybe a little bit wider variety in terms of enemies, environments with Astrobot, but again, that's a multi-million-dollar AAA game. It should be that way. But what's here is beautiful, and the gameplay I think is really the most important part. And Eric, I mean, is it too derivative? Like, if you're going to mimic another game, I mean, that's the one you would want to mimic, right? Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it, try and do it as close as you can to that one. I mean, if you look at all of them, I think they all have something that they try and pull. You know, Ven, Lucky's Tale. I think they all have something they try and pull from there. Again, this was something that Richie was talking about last night. They wanted to do the underwater levels that Astrobot has, because it's, you want that variety in levels, right? Well, that was one of the most amazing things in Astrobot was that underwater level, and it just wasn't feasible for them. You know what I mean? You're talking to, that's the difference when you have a team that has pretty much unlimited funds and, you know, has a huge, you know, team of dedicated, you know, developers, you know, and they're, you know, they have a good team. I mean, they're like 30 strong, but I mean, that's doing underwater and VR is not easy. And it just was not in their capabilities yet. And we might even see something. But it's just amazing
Yeah.
to see what they did do. Like for Levels West, he said they have over 100 levels that hit the cutting room floor.
See, that makes me hopeful that we will get some
DLC.
kind of DLC or maybe director's cut. I want some Kaizo levels here, man. I want some shit that's super hard. Because to your point, Roots, like even before you start developing your abilities, I mean, you start the game with a double jump, you can wall jump, and what that allows you to do is get creative and make your way to some pretty difficult to reach parts of the map. If you want to really explore this map, you can. You can get up in the mountains and stuff. If you want to put a little bit of time and effort into it, I think it would be cool at some point if they give us some levels. And again, this might be how the end of the game is, where you really have to work to make your way through them, and they really use the entire map. So I think that as well received as this title has been, I think there's a big opportunity here for paid DLC, and I think people will happily pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's because the game is fun. And that's what I've been screaming about for so long, about just to make your games fun. And this one is like, if you what I would say is, if you like platformers, you're gonna absolutely love this game. If you don't like platformers, you might still like it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's done so well. And I'm loving it. I want to go back into it to genuinely play it, because I'm having fun. And so
Yeah, it's really good. Escape Portal in the chat says that it's top 3 game of 2024 already this year, and you know what? I don't.
Show has stopped.
I think we're back now.
yes.
Sorry, all. Internet kind of crapped out on us. Some friends joining us in chat. Gamertag VR is here. Paradise Decay here as well. King Rolo, the Cartoon Games Cat, is here as well. JH. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello, everyone. And there's Mickey Barrios. Thanks for the awesome dog tags, Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think when we went off, we were talking about PlayStation VR, and I was just saying that I for one can't wait to play this on PlayStation VR. Well, it's very much going to be the same game. I think that a game like this, a super colorful game, will shine on that OLED screen. Because as I was saying a moment ago, I don't know if it's where I've been playing a lot of PlayStation VR lately, but when I went into my Quest 3 today to play this thing, the screen just seemed super dim, super dull. I made sure it was turned all the way up. It still left something to be desired in terms of brightness and contrast. So I think that this game is going to be absolutely beautiful. And as Richie was saying on your podcast last night, Eric, they're already starting to really come together with some cool upgrades to the visuals, like real-time lighting and shadows.
Yeah, I mean they're actively working on it now. It's already set. It's definitely coming. It's just going to be when it's coming. It's going to be sometime this summer. But yeah, I mean it's going to be amazing on that platform, and it's already running so good that I was saying that you were in the chat last night, Wes, and when people were asking Richie, like, you know, will you make use of the, you know, eye tracking and foveated rendering? And it's actually, I think, you know, he was talking about it, that it's actually even being still discussed right now with their development team as, do we really need it? Like it's
Right.
running so well that they're like, you know, could we use it? Yes, but do we really need it? And and will it really help us in any way? And, you know, and I think in the end, and this is something I think they're looking at, I think it will help them a little bit, But it's running that good already, and they're probably at least a few months out before it even hits. And I asked them last night too. I'm like, are you going to take advantage of the other things besides just foveated rendering? Will we see, head, the head haptics, and are you going to take advantage of everything that the headset has to offer graphically? And he said, absolutely. Like, they're going to use everything. This is not going to be one of those lazy ports where they're just going to port the same Quest version over to the PlayStation VR2. They're going to make this to where it's going to feel like a PlayStation game and not just a Quest port to a PlayStation game. Same thing for Steam too. I asked him, will we see a graphical upgrade if we go to Steam? And he said, absolutely. For PC VR, you will see an absolute upgrade to the game itself.
I love how he answered that question when you asked him about Steam. He said that the Steam version would be based after the PlayStation VR version.
Yeah,
and I always love it. I always love it when developers say it that way instead of the other way around, right? Because now you know that the PSVR version is going to be kind of the base, right, for the high quality version of the game. And Ruuts, there's some potential here to use the adaptive triggers, right? With all of these different gadgets and stuff that they're giving you in this game, they can really add another layer of immersion through the haptics and triggers that are in the sense controllers.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of what they could use the head haptics for. But absolutely. One thing I was thinking about when you guys were talking about the Quest 3 version, because I didn't feel like, well, of course, I haven't been going in, like, you didn't have your exact experience as far as like what you've been playing and then coming into that screen. But then I thought, I don't have the Quest 3 and I've got local dimming and so I thought the game looked amazing on the Quest Pro.
I'm not saying that the game didn't look amazing. The game looks great. My issue was with the headset itself.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I just I got to thinking that why I didn't have that experience, and then I realized I didn't use the same headset. But yeah, no, I definitely think it'll look amazing on the PlayStation VR2. And either way, I think playing another version of this game is something that I would love to do. So
yeah, can't wait. So just a couple more things, Eric. Not a bad soundtrack here either, right? They commissioned custom music for the game, and it's not completely video game music, right? Like, some of this stuff is just like normal contemporary music that you would hear on the radio, right?
Yeah, it's super well done. Like, you'll actually, when you're listening to it in game, you'll get feels of like that, the music from somewhere before. Like, there's one level, it sounds like the music from Lord of the Rings when you're like in Hobbiton. You have that, that kind of cozy little music that they had in Lord of the Rings when they're in the Shire. That's exactly what it sounds like. Like, I even went back to the Lord of the Rings and checked it out. Not that it like is exactly that, but it gives you those exact vibes. And then there's just other music other places in the game that sound like songs that you would know from other places without exactly being those songs. But it's super cool the way they did it. Everything matches the level that you're in too. Like, it feels like it should be there. It's not like they're, putting something that doesn't belong. Everything felt like it was done purposely and put in the right spot for music wise and audio. And, even down to like Max's, little voice when she falls off, a cliff or falls and dies. She's got that little Australian accent. That's where the team is from. The Toast team is from Australia. She's got that little Australian accent, and she's like, "Oh no!" and she says it with an Australian accent every time she dies. So it's super cool. I mean, they did a really good job with the audio.
And Ruuts, there are even levels in this game where the soundtrack plays a role in the gameplay, right? Like, there are levels where the platforms appear and disappear on beat with the music that you're listening to.
The beatbox level was so cool.
The beatbox is cool, yeah.
Yeah, I think the music and the sound and just everything is spot on. I found myself actually dancing or like bopping along as I was playing. It's just really good. I think you're right. It fits, and It was very good.
So yeah, they knocked it out of the park here. Gameplay is king, and they absolutely nailed the gameplay here. The gameplay and level design are top notch. They are Astrobot level gameplay. So why don't we? And then of course the visuals are beautiful. There's a moderately good variety with regard to the environments and the enemies. So why don't we nitpick it just a little bit?
First, I want to say how
And
cool this fucking level here was with these
uh-huh.
pillars that were swaying. And like, I feel like that, I think that, like you said, the level design and like, there's so many things that draw so much inspiration from so many amazing games and moves. And like, it just feels intuitive for somebody that plays and loves platformers, that played them their whole life. This is my jam. This is the type of game that I love. Like like I said, it's just, they really nailed the gameplay in this. So
well, you can tell when you get a game that plays as smoothly as this one does, and is as well balanced as it is. You can always tell the studios that play test from the ones that don't. And I think it's pretty obvious here, Eric, that this game has been extensively play tested and balanced over the course of the last year.
Yeah, again, we talked about earlier, like it's so important to play test and balance these types of games, especially in VR. You have to find that right balance of gameplay, and it does it really well. And not to say, again, there are a couple of small issues, and the camera tracking is always hard when you get into platformers, and like trying to figure out how you get the camera to follow you to where it feels instinctive, and then doesn't get too far away from you or too close to you to where you feel you can't see what you're supposed to be doing or lose track of your character. And it does happen a bit here where you have these small things, but literally I think it has happened in every platformer that I've ever tried where camera can become an issue. But I don't think it's egregious here in any way.
No, and that's only an issue for some people. I'm a little bit different than a lot of people, and I kind of appreciate the added challenge that the camera displacement in VR brings. So I kind of like when the character gets away from me a little bit and is going over my head and behind me and sideways. I think that it provides a unique challenge that isn't uh, available outside of VR.
I
So
think
that's kind of the one that looks like it.
Sorry, I think it's weird when people say that they don't like that, but then they're always talking about how VR offers something that you can't do flat. Well, that's what that is. Yeah, it's harder, but that's what that is. You know what I mean? Like, you can't physically look up and watch your character running above you in a weird place on a flat screen. So, I think it's amazing.
But if I am going to nitpick it, there are a couple of things on my wish list. Pretty easy stuff for them to correct, honestly, if they have the desire to do so. First of all, I am a completionist. I'm one of these guys. I've got to save every mud pup. I won't move on until I have all of them, which is great because they tell you at the end, and you can check at any time to see if you have them. There's 3 per level, and it's like it's pretty much spot on like Van. They're just hidden around the levels, not hidden very well. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult to get to, but most of them you can see where they're at. And you know it, when you get to the end of the level, if you've got them or not. Where I think they could do a little bit more is I want to get all the coins. I want to get all the everything. And I feel like at the end of the level, they should tell me, like, if I missed 10 coins, I should be able to see that I missed 10 coins and then go back and run the level to get to see if I can get them all. And if you do, maybe if you get every coin in the level, you get some kind of achievement or reward. Or they could even like track like some of the special things that happen, like when you jump on the hourglass and the word mustard spells out, and you have to capture all of that. I feel like they could do a little bit better job of tracking that stuff and rewarding players for being completionists, because that's just a really easy way to add dimensions to your gameplay and really increase the replayability without really having to impact the game all that much.
Yeah, but they can't. There's one thing you can't. there's certain things that there's no way to get them. Like, I don't know if you've seen when those red coins come out. Sometimes one of them will like fall right off the edge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't
that.
get that. Like, I've thought, okay, maybe I can get it. I'm like, no, that one you just can't get it because you're gonna die if you go try to get it, right? So, and then also, I guess, as we're nitpicking a little bit, I felt like it was anticlimactic a little bit when I would get the red coins. I'd get them all if I could get them all, and then I just expected like even just a noise or something that, you know. You did it, Ruuts. Good job, you know. And it just I felt like they didn't acknowledge my achievement.
Agree.
How
Agree.
dare you?
They certainly
How dare you?
They certainly can reward the collectors among us a little bit better, I feel like.
Right.
The other big thing I had, Eric, here, and this is probably the only real criticism that I have of this game. It's an excellent game. There is no fail state. If there is, I haven't found it. Like you can't die. There is no game over. You die and you just basically go back to the last checkpoint, and you can do it a 1,000 times and you'll never get game over. I feel like that's a bit of a nerf. I feel like this was a conscious choice on their part, most likely, and I just don't agree with it. I think that one of the things that makes platforming so good is the challenge of it, and part of that challenge should be that if you die too many times, you've got to start over.
Yeah, I mean they definitely decided not to do that. You can tell because the coins again don't mean lives, and there really is no way to collect lives here because you don't need them. That's how you would know if there was a way to use them.
Right.
You'd be collecting them somewhere. There's no live meter anywhere on your hands or your controllers. So yeah, there's no penalty for dying here, and I'm okay with it this way. If they had a hard mode where you did have not an infinite number of lives, so like like even games like Ven, like I'm okay with them nerfing Ven and making it easier for people, but don't take the other hardness out of it. Like don't take it away from me because I like to play it hard. I like it on a hard level. I like it to where I can, I'm gonna have to play over and over and over again, and there is penalty if I use all my lives. I've got to start all the way from scratch. Like I want that penalty, so don't take that away from me. But I'm okay with leaving it in there for people who don't want to go do that. So I think there's a way to do both. Like you could just have a hard mode, or just have like a hardcore mode, or however you want to word it. You could have two versions, and then just make you have to, like, you could collect coins and go buy lives in the store with the coins. Then if you know what I mean, if the coins don't mean lives, you have different ways you can do this, and it could be something that Toast will work on. I mean, they are far from done with this game, so it's something that they could add in later if enough people kind of come in and say, hey, we would love a hard mode or a hardcore mode or a virtual strangers mode. I think they should probably do
Yes, the virtual strangers mode. Ven VR got it.
Go.
And then So
How cool was the entrance to each level, Roots, where the logo pops up and then you kind of move through a hole into the level. I thought that the 3D effect in this game was exceptional, and they do a really good job of using their visual assets to really accent the depth that you get inside a VR headset.
yeah, absolutely. I thought what was really cool, well, this level here was cool. But the transition with that when that tree Like I looked up and the tree was like
Oh yeah.
there, and I was like shooting it, and then all of a sudden its mouth started coming down to me. I was like, holy shit. And then all of a sudden I just thought it was really cool. And so it's just innovative. It's different. And but I do want to, before we get away from the little nitpicks, I did see something that Fluke Rogi had mentioned in the chat that I actually did think this during when I was playing it, but really kind of just glossed over it and just assumed that maybe it changed. But he said he finished the game and the enemy types, he never felt like he really needed to do anything different than what you needed to do from the very beginning, which is just kind of like jump on their head or whatever. And so like I've only played through probably half the game now, and so I didn't know, as far as that goes. So I feel like some of the enemy types, as far as that, could have been a little bit more unique as far as how to kill them, I guess.
Agreed. That's legitimate criticism. Mario was kind of the same way, where you had enemies you could jump on, and then maybe one or two that you couldn't, and there were other ways to kill those, and very much this is the same way. It almost makes it feel like sometimes the enemies are just reskins, although they do have different attacks. Again, it is a rather small thing because there are other existential dangers in these worlds other than even just the enemies. But you're right, that is a legitimate criticism, and maybe something that we can possibly see more variety with if we do get some super tough Kaizo modes.
Yeah, and some new levels, a sequel. I want to see it all. Max Mustard 2, it's coming.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
By the way, we've had a couple of super chats here. I don't want to let them get too far past.
Oh shit.
Escape Portal $9.99. All of you have given me some great advice, and I'm very grateful for it. You guys are the shit. Even if my channel blows up someday, Virtual Strangers will always be the best fucking show on YouTube. Word.
Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
That. Yeah, and please, it will blow up. It's coming. Has to.
Yeah, Escape Portal does excellent content. If you all haven't checked them out yet, be sure to go give them a look.
Definitely.
King Rolo the Cartoon Games Cat with the 10 quid says, had to go on Quest 3 other day, Half-Life on a 4090, and was impressed. It was perfect for newcomers with the pass-through, but I'm staying with PSVR2. $450 to spend on VR2 games. Now Max Mustard, Hellsweeper. Yeah, I get it, man. PSVR2 is an exceptional platform and overly criticized, in my opinion, but we've really talked this one to death. So I don't want to go down that road again.
He's going to have the best of both worlds. He's going to get to use this PSVR2 on this with this 4090 pretty soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
that's amazing.
That's kind of the boat that we're all in, is like we love the VR so much that we have to have all of it. So, but I get it. Everyone has their favorites, and I kind of get sticking with the one that gives you the most AAA games. That makes perfect sense to me.
The only AAA games, really, in my mind. So.
Yeah, well, almost. You're right. The other thing I'd like to see before we move on from Max Mustard, and this may be in here, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that when I complete this game, that a speed run mode will be unlocked. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Eric, but as you make your way through these levels, there's all sorts of little hidden platforms and things that you could jump on. And I'm thinking to myself, if I were speed running, I would just run right across that thing over there. And it seems like the levels are designed with this in mind. I'm hoping that unlocks when we finish the game.
Maybe. Maybe.
Perhaps. All right. Awesome. So that's it.
I was just gonna say that was something somebody had mentioned last night.
Oh yeah.
Because I said that I wasn't a huge fan. That I'm a fan of Lucky's Tale, but it's lower on my list than most other VR platformers because I thought it was too easy, and I
Mhm.
didn't think it was challenging in any way whatsoever. Not that I didn't think it was a good-looking game or it played well. Just to me, it felt like it was almost too much of a kid's game. Like I felt like I was playing
It was a
something that
demo.
yeah,
It
yeah,
felt like a
exactly.
demo.
It felt exactly like that. And then somebody had said, Eric, did you do the speed running? And I'm like, I did do the speed running, but to me, it still felt like it was just a tacked on thing to the
Right.
game, and it didn't give me enough substance to say that it would it increase the game at all. So it did increase the difficulty level, but again, to me, it felt tacked on, and that's why if I'm going to rate games, you're probably always going to go Astrobot first, and it used to be Ven for me would be the second, and I don't know, man. Lucky's Tale would have been definitely a third, but now with Max, I think it's very close to Ven for me, even though I may go Ven. I just fell in love with Ven when it came out. I thought it was really good, and it was one of the first platformers to come out on Quest, and I thought it blew me away how good it looked on Quest. So Ven has a kind of special place for me. But what about you guys? How do you think you would rank the platformers in VR?
I'm pretty close to where you're at. I can't really say. Now, obviously, I don't think this, at the end of the day is going to be quite on the level of Astrobot. But like you, I'm rather fond of Ven. I need to play more. I don't know. I think this has the potential that it could be a better game than Ven. They're very close in terms of just about everything: level design, difficulty. I think Ven's probably. I don't know, man. This game's getting pretty tough. I need to play more of it to really know. Uh, where Max Mustard does have a definitive edge, though, is in the amount of content that there is here. There's 40 fucking levels here,
Yeah.
and Ven does not have that many. Ven's about half of what we've got here.
I can tell you too, the latter 50% of this game gets increasingly harder and better. Like, to me, like the beginning levels are awesome, but when you get to like that 50, the halfway mark, things get really cool and interesting.
Right. So okay. So that see me having played about halfway through the game, I would say that Ven's probably a little bit more challenging than this game. But it is progressively getting more difficult, and that is something that can definitely change. One thing's for sure, Roots. Lucky's Tale just isn't on the level of these VR platformers anymore. When we're talking about Max Mustard, we're talking about Ven, we're talking about Astrobot. Lucky's Tale just isn't in the league with these anymore. Even though it is a nice production. It is pretty. It sounds good. It's charming. Like you said, it's kind of like a tech demo from the early days of VR, where these other games are legitimate platformers.
Yeah, it's kind of what I've been feeling a lot lately about, VR in the beginning had a lot of gimmicky aspects to it, right? And we kind of moved away from it. And some developers now, I feel like, are kind of bringing us back to that gimmicky feel, and it kind of pisses me off. Not saying anything about this, but because this is clearly not that. But I feel like as far as the ranking, because I do believe what you're saying, Eric, that it just gets harder and harder, because that's been my experience so far. I don't know if, did you play through this second part, Wes, or about where I'm at as well, or
I didn't make it. I didn't make it quite as far as you. So
okay, so
you're
yeah,
well
so
ahead of me.
it's starting to get pretty difficult, and I would say that what Ven VR feels more like a traditional old school platformer, like, and this is like as you maybe went up a console or two generation, and you started to get all these really cool mechanics and like all these different things. Like, I feel like this game has more to it, if that makes sense. More gameplay, more like different types of moves, and the fact that you have the coins and you can buy moves and you're unlocking stuff, and it just has a progression level that
That's
Ven doesn't
definitely
have.
true.
Now Ven, I think where it maybe feels more difficult, and this is exactly to what you just said earlier, you can kill yourself out of the game. You know what I mean? Like, there's penalties for dying. So in that respect, it is harder, 100% harder. So, but if I ranked them in order, I'd probably say at this point it would be Astrobot, then this one, and then Ven, right behind, and then Lucky's Tale is like, I don't even know. I don't think it's around anymore. He just fucking retired somewhere, chilling.
Right.
So
that's something that you play when you're hard up, when it's been 5 years since Astrobot came out and there's no Max Mustard yet. That's when Lucky's Tale has a place.
Yeah, when it came out on
days are
Quest,
behind
and it
us.
was exciting because it was new for people that had never seen it. But now it's just its time. I kind of look at a lot of old school classics. Don't hate me, John Riggs, but like a lot of old school, old school games that I look at it now and I'm like, I'd never fucking play that. There's that tree thing. Because the gameplay is boring to me. And I couldn't play it now. It just would be boring to me. That's not what they play it for. People play it for the nostalgia and other things, but you know, the games, they get better as they go by, as time goes by. So
As technology does. So yeah, I agree pretty much with what you said there. Vin, more of a classic platforming gameplay loop. Definitely a lot more variety with Max Mustard in terms of gameplay and progression. It's kind of in its own league there. So yeah, only time will tell. But there is no question that we all recommend this game at $30. I think it is perfectly priced, and they probably could have gotten away with even a little bit more, depending on how long it takes people to play through it and how much reason that they give people to come back in after they finish the campaign. But Eric, any objection to the price tag on it?
None at all. I think it's really well priced. And I know they already have, like, you know, some DLC planned and you know, different things, you know, coming. Richie's already talking about a roadmap that they have for us, so they're not done with this yet. And I know some of it's going to be included with the price. You may see some price DLC, but you will see some updates and some cool stuff that's coming that's going to be included with it. So I think it's a great price. I think it's definitely well done and worth the money.
Ruuts, $30.
yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, I'm halfway through the game and I've got 4 hours, 5 hours or something in there. And this is somebody that, you know, I'll fly through some of these levels. I might die a lot on some others, but for some people, this is going to take you a lot longer because the levels are not that easy. And you know what I thought too is like by having the coins, it actually makes it brilliant too. Because I found myself going back into levels that I would never go back into, just because I'm like, oh, that was a shitload of coins. I'm going back through there. You know what I mean? Like that's a good coin level. And so I'll go back through it, and I'm flying through it, and it's giving me a reason to go back through, and I just think it's different.
Agreed. So go pick it up. If you haven't picked it up already, there is a link in the description down below. It's a referral link that will get you 25% off, and also put $5 into the coffers for our show to buy review copies and giveaway keys with as well. So just scroll down the description below. You'll see a link, and click on through and pick up your copy of Max Mustard. We think you're going to like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Especially if you like platformers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the one. This is the one we've been waiting on, right? We've been needing another good platformer for a few years now, and finally we've got one.
Yeah.
But with that said, that's enough Quest game talk. Let's move on to our beloved PlayStation VR2 and talk about the game of the day, OVRDARK. Just launched on PSVR2 platform, coming to Steam a little bit later. We demoed it on Steam not too long ago. But I got to say, Eric, I don't know if you played the Steam demo or not, but I think this might be another one of those cases where the game was developed for PlayStation VR2 and they're kind of trying to bring it over to Steam because it performs so much better on my console than it did on my computer.
Yeah, and that's 100%. You're 100% right there because I actually demoed this game at Gamescom, and it was before the Steam version was even around, and it was demoed on a PlayStation. They started on the PlayStation, they moved it over to Steam, so it absolutely was always intended to be number one first, a PlayStation VR2 game, and then they just moved it to Steam after.
So a brave move here, Ruuts, and I wrote an article earlier today on XR Update that kind of talked a little bit about this. An interesting gamble on the part of the studio here, Nox Noctis, as they decided to move their launch date to coincide with Madison VR, which is a highly anticipated horror title that's also coming to PlayStation VR2. They were both supposed to drop today, and I've told them 2 weeks ago, like, hey, hold on to this game, launch it mid to late April when people are finishing Madison and are ready for something else, and then you'll be able to take advantage of that. You don't want to launch in the same window with Madison, because everyone's just going to go buy that and you're going to be left out in the cold. But it was a stroke of genius on their part, Ruuts, because if there's one thing we know about Madison, it's been delayed and delayed and delayed again. And guess what they did yesterday, Ruuts? They delayed it again. And now here's Nox Noctis with OVRDARK hitting PlayStation VR2 today, all by its lonesome. People disappointed because they can't buy Madison. And here this game sits ready to be played today. It was a brave move, but I really think it's going to pay off for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God it worked out that way, and I think that's awesome. And I'm just taken aback by some of the imagery. I'm seeing somebody slamming somebody's head into the wall and shit.
Dude.
Like, this is what I want. Like, I don't want some curated fucking haunted house where there's a ghost going woo, like I want some shit that's gonna be like, oh my God, what is happening? And so yeah, that's what it looks like. What's going on in here? I kind of take these comments. She says, I was all ready to play this one, but the stupid black screen. Me too. Twice. Actually 3 times I tried to go into this thing.
I mean, it is OVRDARK. Like what? What
well, that's true.
It's a little over. It's a little too.
It was a little. It was a little OVRDARK. Absolutely. Well, now that we know the fix, I'm gonna have to go back in there and check this out. Actually, I guess I get to see a little bit of Wes play it here shortly, right?
Yeah, so this is a real-time review for those of you who are new to the channel, and I think there are a few of you in the chat who may be new to our channel. We're about to do what is called a real-time review, where I'm going to go play the game. I'm going to stream it live for you right now, and Ruuts and Eric are going to hang around off screen, but they'll be here talking to us, reading the chat, and we'll be having a discussion about the game as I play it. But before I go over there, I just want to say, Eric, I'm digging the vibe of this game. It just has a really indie feel to it. Like, and I don't mean that in a negative connotation where, like, sometimes when you say a game's really indie, that means that it's kind of janky or that the visuals are a little bit less. This is a beautiful game that plays really well. But there are some telltale signs, right? Some of the scaling's a little weird in it. The voice acting, I love the voice acting, and they even put the word shit in the trailer for it, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm really digging the vibe of this game a lot.
I know exactly what you're talking about. There are some scenes like with the things being out of scale. There's some scenes when you're in the mansion where they board up doors and windows, and the size of the nails that are sticking out of the boards they're like the biggest heads of a nail I've ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, it must have been like Andre the Giant nail in this thing. And but
that's all they had. It's the only nails that were there.
But I'm gonna say a couple things about this game before you jump in here, man. Or unless I can talk about it while you're getting yourself.
Actually, that's probably a good idea. You can kind of talk a little bit about the game while I switch over. This is going to take me 5-ish or so minutes to get the game up and running. You get the stream running. I'll be back in a moment. I'll give Ruuts the signal, and we will switch from his PC to mine in real time, and then I'll get into my PlayStation and start playing. But I will be right back, gentlemen, and yeah, tell us a little more, Eric.
Yeah, it's perfect because I got at least 5 minutes to talk about this, just because there's a couple of things here that like really blow me away. Like I always go back to oh God, Ruuts, what's the name of that game that the horror game that I always
what is the name of that?
I'm just
the game of the year.
Right oh yeah. Anybody in chat? What's the name of the game? The zombie game.
Owen. Right, was it Owen?
Yeah, it was Owen who got his legs ripped off.
Propagation.
Yes.
Thank you. Propagation Paradise Hotel. I'm going to compare this because that Propagation Paradise Hotel is a bigger team than this team. This is a very small team that's doing this game.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe of this game way dwarfs Propagation Paradise Hotel.
Really?
Like literally, yeah. This if you took maybe Propagation's story and stuck it in this game, that's what I wanted Propagation Paradise Hotel to feel like. And what I got was like, I got like the Wish version of that, like for Propagation. That's what, you know what I mean? That, or I got the TeamU version, you know what I mean? Or however you want to use it. But this game right here, it does not feel indie. Like, and again, what Wes says is right. Every once in a while, you get a little indie feel with some of the voice acting or some of the scaling, but then all of a sudden you turn a corner and you get amazing visuals or amazing story or amazing audio that makes you feel AAA. So it's like it's one of the weirdest vibes I've ever seen in a horror game or in any VR game, where you have those like if I didn't know, I'd be in the middle of the game going, Did Konami make this game, or did or was it a single dev who made this game? Like, because I get both feelings in this game, Ruuts. It's so funny. Like all the things that I hated, Propagation Paradise Hotel for, because I thought it was basically cloning Resident Evil. This game does a lot of that, but for some reason it doesn't bother me here at all because it's done so well. Like it's, like even the save system, which is kind of the same. It's not a typewriter. It's like a little boombox, and you stick a tape. You just stick a cassette tape in the boombox, and that's how you record. But it doesn't bother me here. It really bothered me in that one, and I don't know. The vibe of this game, Propagation Paradise Hotel, never scared me. I never got a jump scare. Maybe one or two jump scares. This game, and I've only played 1.5 to 2 hours. Has scared me so many times where I literally you know that feeling in Resident Evil 7 when you're being chased around in the kitchen. It gives you that. I had that feeling several times in this game. There is a scare early on that I think Wes will be able to play if far enough into it, that literally I almost jumped out of my chair when I first did it, and I had the goosebumps. I mean, when you can get the hair on the back of your neck stand up, or things happen to you that way in a video in a VR game, Ruuts, I know you had that feeling with Resident Evil 7, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Or any game or any movie, that's what elicits that feeling, right? Movies are no different. As a matter of fact, they're less. You're not in the experience, so it can be done. And it sounds like you make me want to go into this game right now. How come Wes gets to go on there? What the fuck? Oh,
right? How come
I got black screen.
Does he think he's better than you? He doesn't have black screen?
Orland Hooper's jacked,
yo. Wrong one.
Hell yeah, he is. Oh, you got Orland Hooper in there.
This man legitimately thinks that he is better than us.
I got everything in this thing. I got...
Don't close your eyes.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I thought that was...
Don't take no shit from anyone.
I just thought...
Geez, they don't take no shit from anyone.
She doesn't take no shit from anybody. Yeah, no, I think I think the game looks amazing. I look forward to watching D stream this. She said,
"Oh my god, I would love to watch D stream this.
She was gonna play it.
It would be crazy."
D, you're streaming this, right? Oh, she says it kind of makes me grateful now. The black screen.
No, I gotta get her in there. It's a really good mix, Roots, of it. It definitely gives you Resident Evil vibes, but not quite the same because, to be honest, so far I haven't found any weapons. So, but it gives me more. It gives you a Resident Evil vibe, but even more in like a Silent Hill vibe almost, because there's physical scares here like a Resident Evil, but there's like psychological scares here like Silent Hill. So it's just a really good mix. And again, I'll talk about the indie to AAA kind of comparison. There's things in here where you're like, oh my god, this is AAA. There are parts in this game where the Mura is so bad, I'm like, oh god, come on guys. But then I'll turn a corner and I'm like, wow, that looks phenomenal. And it only happens in the super dark scenes, but you can see in this in the trailer you got flashlight is a big part of this. Darkness is a big part of how you can kind of like set the tone and set the feel of the game because it is really dark. And flashlights in VR are some of the best things ever. Like because it just feels good, right? When you can hold a flashlight, physically hold it in your hand, and it's not a joystick or a gamepad. When you can hold a flashlight like this, and you can turn and you can look in corners with the flashlight, it's something special. And the visuals with the flashlight and the light lighting up certain spots look phenomenal. It's when you get to some scenes in the basement area or when it gets really dark, man, it looks like you have like cheesecloths over your head. It's so bad in some spots.
I hate that. I hate that too. In VR, man. Hopefully, in the Steam version won't have that, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's so good, Roots, in PlayStation. I don't know if Steam will be able to do everything that the PlayStation. I mean, we'll see. If I hope they did a good enough job with that port, but because this is definitely a Steam port, you know what I mean? Because this is definitely a PlayStation game that's going to be ported to Steam. So I don't know if they built it from the ground up for Steam. I think it could be better with a better system behind it, but.
Well, let me ask you this. So is there any haptics or adaptive triggers that you think are game changing?
No adaptive triggers that I noticed. Again, I don't know how far. We'll talk to Wes when he gets back in here to see how far he's been in this game. He's probably been a little bit farther than me. I'm only about an hour and a half in. I have not found any weapons. To me, this game is about not having weapons so far. It's about remember Dread Halls?
Yeah.
Dread Halls was scary because you had no way to defend yourself. That's what made it scary. Like some certain games like this, if you put a weapon in my hand, I don't get as scared because I feel like I can defend myself. You put me in a VR game where I cannot defend myself in any way other than either running or, eluding something, it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. It's a fine line because like games like what was it? That
Alien Isolation?
Well, no, there was that roller coaster one that came out with the PlayStation VR2. Man, my mind is not working. The horror
I'm
one.
The same way too. Switchback,
yeah. Like I as soon as I saw that I didn't have my gun, then I knew that there was no danger. Right. So like it can go both ways. You know who loves to go both ways?
My mom.
Yeah, she does.
I'd be curious to talk to Wes because I don't know how far he is in this game, and anybody else who's played it. I don't know if weapons come in later on, but again, if it does, it's super weird. I'm so far into the game now, no weapons.
It sounds like it doesn't. Gamertag says, "Yeah, I love the goosebumps I get in OVRDARK."
Some of the best scares I've ever had in VR, literally in this game, and I'm only an hour and a half into it.
Scarier than the ghost hunting game. The Phasmophobia. Man, people say that thing is the scariest thing in the world, and I just don't think it is at all.
I never got it. Like I never understood it. Like I don't know. I always had problems when I went in there. Oh yeah, Gamertag said he's completed it, no weapons. So again, I think I'm okay with it. And I'm you guys know me. I'm a shooter. I'm a fan. Like Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time because you can shoot. You get all these different weapons, but like so far I haven't missed it. Like I haven't been like, okay, when am I getting my gun, or when am I getting my knife, or when am I getting this? Because of what it is and the scares that it brings you, I haven't been anywhere like where I was like, oh man, I don't want to do this because I don't have a gun or anything like that. So, and I don't know if it changes throughout the game, but so far for me, I haven't missed not having a weapon. I think it's adding to the intensity of the game for me.
Yeah. Well, it definitely looks like something I want to go into and check out if I'm able to. If the
I think you would
PlayStation
completely
VR2
dig. Yeah, I think you would. Yeah, I think we can get this work. I think you would completely dig this game. I really do. I think this would be because I knew you were a big fan of Resident Evil 7, and you're a fan of horror games. So I think you definitely will like it. And there's enough here. There's a lot of puzzles here. Where it gives you Resident Evil vibes, because again, it's not an action game like Resident Evil. It gives you Resident Evil vibes with how you have to progress around to get through the environments that you're in. It's very much you have to figure out how to get through this doorway to get to this level, to get to this key, to get into this room, and and none of those puzzles. The puzzles that I've gotten to so far have been challenging, but nothing where I'm like, shit, I can't figure this out, and it's pissing me off.
like 7th gas level. Man, some of those puzzles are fucking. I'm like, what the hell is this puzzle,
some of those
man?
were really hard. But I didn't really get too frustrated in 7th gas, but but I didn't make it all the way through that one either. So, but yeah, and again, I'm only an hour and a half, so I don't know if it gets even harder. I'm sure it does get harder with the puzzles, but man, it's super creepy. I love everything about it. The audio is great too, by the way. They do a really good job with giving you audio cues that freak you out. You're getting these little flashback scenes that are really good.
Well, that's what a good horror has to have, good audio, right? Or it just has to.
I believe you guys can hear me now, yeah?
Ken, thank God, Wes. I was out of the 5 minutes about 5 minutes ago.
How much of your 5 minutes was you talking shit about propagation?
Maybe the first 7 or 8 minutes. No, I didn't kill it too badly, but I don't know what you would think about this, but I was just thinking that I would love propagation to be a lot like this game. If you gave me the action and the shooting and propagation in this game, and you made that propagation, I think I would have loved propagation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did like propagation, but it's a very different game than this. This is a more slow, deliberate. This is a scarier game.
Yeah,
where propagation definitely had more horror elements than a typical zombie shooter, but it was still a zombie shooter, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Game of the year.
I think I believe. I'm sorry.
Game of the year.
I think we're about ready to go.
You're a little
here,
low
Ruuts.
for me, Wes. I don't know if you're low for Ruuts too. But
Yeah, he's low for me. He's low for me in the Discord. I've turned him up all the way on the.
Let me see if I can turn myself up a little bit here. In the Discord.
Gamertag, he says I think Outlast and Fatal Frame did the no weapon thing first, and it worked very well in VR. Yeah, Alien Isolation did the no weapon thing too, right? There was a lot of parts of that it was no weapon. You're just trying to escape the alien.
Groundhog Day did no weapon as well. It's not really
horror though. Do I sound any better now?
Yeah, you sound way better.
Way better.
All right, excellent. And let me just check on my OBS here. I think I already had that one balanced out though. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. Maybe a little bit more I can put on in OBS.
Yeah, because I got it all the way up.
Check 1, check 2. Check, 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 check. All right. Syphilis. All right. I think it's about as good as it's going to get. All right, cool.
Syphilis
So,
VR is
whenever you're
fantastic.
ready, Ruuts, I think we are ready to switch streams over now. Everyone watching at home, it's going to seem like your stream has crashed
Don't
for
freak
just
out.
a moment, but I assure you that it hasn't. We're just switching over, and we will be live again in just a moment.
All right, are we ready? Let's do it.
Has been spent in Max Mustard, so I'm only about 90 minutes or so into the game. So we won't be spoiling too much of it. We'll play an hour, maybe another 90 minutes of it, but it won't be the beginning of the game that you've seen 100 times, and it won't be the ending of the game. So we'll be just kind of somewhere in the front end of the middle, so to speak. Now, I cannot see what's happening in chat But Eric and Ruuts are here, and they'll relay whatever comments that you guys have along to me as I play.
Hell yeah, we're still here.
All right.
Ian, the icon says hi.
Nice.
Oh shit! Where did my save go?
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
No. Why? All right. Maybe I can move through it quickly since I already know what to do.
Oh no way! I wonder where it went. What the hell?
They updated the game today. The game launched. I guarantee
Oh,
I lost my
right.
save when they.
Yeah.
They
Well, at least
were.
you're able. At least you don't get black screen.
Yeah, sure. At least you can start the game. Hey, that's a good point. Wes is like, oh man, I gotta
Save
start
my
over. I
fucking
want to fucking
settings.
start.
It saved my settings. Like my settings are still here.
Hmm.
Man, that
Maybe
sucks.
it's hidden.
All right, whatever, man. We'll just go with it. Settings, new game, no load game. Son of a bitch. Are you sure you want to I don't want to overwrite data though. I want to load, but it won't let me load. I guess we'll overwrite.
Sounds
the
like
data.
it's still there though.
Yeah. Well, if I can't use it, then it doesn't matter if it's still there.
That's right. If you can't use it, you're gonna lose it.
We continue to report on the alarming situation in Frederick County, Maryland, where initial cases of an unknown virus in the area continue to be
It's
recorded,
COVID.
generating
COVID
fear
virus.
among local residents and prompting health authorities to take urgent measures to prevent its spread.
Big news.
Following the recent death of one of the first patients,
to show everybody
George
this,
Lutz,
That's
a
awesome.
resident of Burkittsville, an investigation has begun into how he might have contracted the disease, which is already seeing its first cases outside the state, and according to forecasts is expected to increase in the coming days. Health authorities have asked the community to take the necessary preventive measures to protect themselves and prevent the spread. We will continue to report on this developing situation.
You know who hates it when you prevent the spread?
My mom!
Oh yeah, she really hates that.
All right. So again, a pretty good looking game here, right off the top. It's not perfect. I mean, if you squat down and try to read this stuff, it's just blurry lines. There is no actual text.
Michael, can you hear me? What's wrong with your eyes?
That shit is loud, yo.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you.
So, people in the chat, let us know that everything sounds okay. Let us know that the balancing's all right, that everyone's loud enough and not too loud.
No. Anne.
I think that lady had it coming to her, Roots.
I think she did too. Yeah, looked like she had getting a little uppity.
You know what you tell a woman with two black eyes? You don't tell her anything.
no.
You already told her twice.
That's right.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
She didn't listen.
He says it's his fault. You think he's talking about the virus?
I think so. He started it.
Maybe had technical.
Julia.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh my
damn
God.
it! I knew that was. It was at that moment
I
he
should've
realized.
stayed,
he
I should have
fucked
stayed
up.
away from the monkey.
Yeah.
It's Dr.
That's
Fauci.
usually a very good idea, I think. I believe. Dee says that the sounds good to her.
All right, beautiful. It's a little bit loud. The game audio is a little loud in my ear, but it should get quiet in a moment.
Duggar's case says it sounds great as well.
Perfect.
Shut up! Everyone shut up right now!
Everyone shut up right now.
If I had a nickel for every time I lived in a house like this, who does?
Yeah. Be a millionaire.
I mean, and it's like every time you go in the basement, there's always a bunch of candles. You
Lit
know?
up.
Yeah, right.
I need peace.
What if you just went upstairs and came back down and this is what you saw? I think that would freak me out. Maybe even like 30 seconds. Not enough time to light the candles, you know?
Eric, did you notice that this like 2-year-old little girl knows how to talk like really well?
Dude, I know. Even later on in the thing, and there's a cut scene. I'm like, what? How old is she? She looks like she's 1. Talking like a 10-year-old.
Oh, this is the scene from the trailer.
Hello?
Did you hear? They just enacted martial law. This is crazy. What are we gonna do?
Don't leave Louisiana. I'm in the middle of something. I'll be back soon.
Don't leave Louisiana, no matter what you do.
Promise me you won't get mad.
Do you know what can happen to you for being out there?
Why? What's special
Mike is like a
about
brother to me.
Louisiana?
You understand? I can't stay still doing
You know what I
nothing.
did notice in here at some point is
Sorry, it's just that shit is
the
overwhelming
voice
me.
acting
I
doesn't
know.
match the
Me too.
words
Yeah.
on the screen. Did you notice
Well,
that?
I need Michael's
the
help, but
Steam
if I'm
demo
right,
I
the rest
played,
of his research
the voice
might be
acting was
crucial to
completely
stopping this,
different.
and I've got
It was
no
like,
other options.
like foreign voice actors who
I'm very close.
English wasn't their
I'll
first
call you as soon
language.
as I find something out.
Okay.
So they've obviously redone it for this launch, which is good.
That's me. That describes me.
Yeah.
Not native to this language. Oh, maybe I am, but Duggars K says Eric does sound quiet though. So I don't know if there's a way to.
Well,
turn
I haven't been
yourself
saying a
up.
whole bunch.
Yeah, you just been a little too quiet. You said too much about propagation. That's why.
Wes said, mute him, Roots. He's talking about
That's right.
propagation. Talking shit about propagation again.
It's like, again. Oh, grab the flashlight. Eric's favorite part.
So you can double press R2, it says, so you don't have to actually reach down there to get it, which is good because the belt's a little bit low. Press to
Yeah, I was just saying
use.
while you were away, Wes, how great flashlights in VR are, especially for horror games. They just-
Yeah, it's kind of essential, right?
Like, it doesn't make any sense when you're playing it on a gamepad, but for some reason in VR, when you can actually grab a flashlight and just point it where you want to point it and look, I mean, it just works so well.
Now, I so wanted to grab this axe and bury it in something's face, but there's no faces around, unfortunately.
I thought you said there's no weapons, Eric.
You can't do anything with it.
No, you can't. You really can't.
I wish. Trust me, I was trying to take everything. I was going to take a shovel, I was going to take a screwdriver.
Mickey Bear, have a good night. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for dropping the keys in the chat. Somebody got Vertigo Remastered.
Damn, that's a good one.
That is a good one. And GT says, I think Outlast and Fatal Frame did that no weapon thing first, and it worked very well. Okay, I guess that was for a while ago. GT's probably not even out there anymore. He's like gymming it up. He's lifting weights.
He's pumping something.
He's pumping. Do you know who loves pumping something? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a very small amount of ghosting from reprojection. Not something you're really going to notice unless you're just looking for it, which is good. But you know, a lot of people, Eric, are speculating that this last firmware update that the PSVR2 just got might have improved the reprojection system. We haven't really went in and done definitive tests yet to verify that, but a lot of people are saying that they think maybe that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking, PlayStation's been talking a while that they were going to have updates that were going to correct a lot of the things that were wrong with it, so I don't doubt it. Not that, to be honest with you, I'm just not a person that ever bothers, because that never bothers me.
Sometimes, I mean, it's worse than others, right? Some games are worse than others. Obviously,
Right.
Horizon. Oh, the mountain. It was pretty egregious in that one.
My thing is like, we always talk about things that are immersion breaking, and I just don't think that thing, like if I turn my head in real life and I start to see shit trailing and ghosting, I'm gonna go to the doctor. I'm gonna think something's fucking wrong. So like, I don't want to see that in VR. Even if it doesn't affect me, it makes me remember I'm in virtual reality. Like, it makes it very difficult to get lost in the experience or game. Yes, you can do it, but like, I shouldn't have to do it. Like, we have the technology where reprojection should not exist, and a good dev will make sure it doesn't. And you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I'm not saying that this game isn't good, and it's good that it's minimal, but I just want to get to a point where it just doesn't exist. Because if you saw that on a flat screen,
really?
would tear
Looks like I'll have to find another way out.
Everything is amplified in VR. And so now you're in there and you're seeing that same thing. I just don't think it's acceptable.
And on that note, this is precisely why Madison delayed today. There was an update to the Unity SDK earlier in the week that enabled them to use dynamic foveated rendering with the eye tracking. And what that's going to allow them to do is to run at 90 hertz natively, as opposed to 60 reprojected to 120. So that's why they decided to delay yet again. And I think it took some bravery from them to do it, honestly. And yeah, I think it was a great move.
Well, they would have got killed for it if they did. Like,
right. And why not just come out and have it be good, man? You've already waited this long. Fix it, finish it, make it come out in its best form. Yeah, I think it's a very good move. Rogue TR says, man, those HDR blacks are so dark on stream, I'm not even sure what you just crouched under. It just shows you, though, because that OLED is so... I don't know, man, I'm so sold on OLED.
What's that smell?
In general, just because of my monitor, and then my pseudo OLED I have in my headset, but it's not the same as my PlayStation OLED, but it's close. So
I know, I agree. I'm so spoiled with OLED now. I don't want to, like, it felt good getting back into PlayStation once in a while, and then I've been using my Apple Vision Pro a lot too, and everything I do with that headset with the OLED, so good. Like, I don't want to go back. Even Pancake, which I like, I don't want to go back anymore.
It just makes a big difference with the blacks. I don't think people realize, you know. I guess you do if you have a PlayStation VR2.
Yeah, it really is a big difference. And again, I think that's why I noticed such a difference going into that Quest today. It was just because I'm so used to it.
Oh my God! Michael!
How crazy is it that we were just having a discussion on CruCast a couple months ago about which headsets to recommend to our friends, and like everybody across the board, I was not one of them, but we're mostly pushing saying Quest 2 is what you recommend. And fast forward to now, it's like it's already the fucking writing on the wall, and we may have just sent our friends to get a headset that is going to be obsolete soon.
Saw one on Facebook today for $75.
Yeah, like it's just, and don't get me wrong, there's still things you can do.
There's a lot,
but it's like I just don't. I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't push my friends. Just like, okay, so like when my kids were little, and they'd come to me and they'd be like, hey, "Daddy, I want to buy this," and I'd look at it.
What the hell?
And no, we're not.
What just
happened? That's garbage. That's trash. You know what I mean? Like when I bought something for my kids, I always made sure it was good.
I don't know.
Like if they wanted.
What do you mean?
Something that sucked, I would explain to them why it sucked, as far as like it's one of those items that's gonna break after a day.
I've seen Mike, but he's gone now.
You just don't. You want good for your friends and family.
Call me crazy,
right?
but
Not
I thought I saw him hanging from a beam in the basement.
Experiences you can have
now
experience
he's
a little
not
bit.
here. I'm looking for him.
You know, like you're not going to get to experience all the good stuff.
That's impossible.
You know, don't worry about saving up for it. Just go for the cheap. You know, it just I
What
think
are you
it's the
doing in
wrong
the basement?
advice.
You should get out of
And
there
if
right
it's
now.
somebody's
I
so
can't.
broke
I need to know what happened here.
that they
George,
can't afford
please,
something
don't
like
stay
that,
there.
then
I
maybe
can't
they
leave
shouldn't
things
be
like
getting
this,
it.
Lexa. I
You
need
know,
to
or
know
maybe
what happened to Mike and
at
his
that
family.
point, $75 is
I'm
okay,
freaked
but
out,
I don't
okay?
know.
But I
Like,
can't just run away.
it's just
You're hopeless. Please
I'll
call back
definitely
as soon
hear
as
ya.
you know
Like
something. This just feels wrong.
the
I'll
generation
call you soon.
span is super low on VR headsets, and especially the standalone ones. Like,
it's going
it's like
quick.
yeah, it's like telling somebody to go buy an iPhone 10 right now or something, you know?
Right, or like even somebody was like said, "Hey, I think you know, it's a good idea to invest in a 8th generation processor. You know, like to start there." You're like, okay, well, it probably not the best idea because we're now in the 14. That's 6 generations. It's almost too old. You know, it's the reason why I just bought or paid for some of D's computer to get my old computer back so that I could upgrade it for my son so that he's got it. You see, it dawned on me he had an 8700K. I'm like, fuck, man, that thing is old.
Michael! Anne!
Not doing it.
Are you there? This looks bad. What happened here?
So he said, "This looks bad. What happened here?" And the only thing bad I can see is that the rug's a little messed up.
Just some blood or something?
I don't see any.
Well,
Maybe a
yeah,
weird statue.
yeah. Look at that. Somebody messed up that rug, dude. You better straighten it up. How cool would a game be if that was what you did? You went around and straightened up the rugs and swept and. Oh wait, oh no, sorry, I was thinking the power washing. You could do power washing in VR because that's pretty much the same thing to me. I don't want to tidy up. I don't want to power wash. I don't want to scrub the floor.
What about bartending? That's a good one. Huh?
Oh, how about cooking? Yeah, that smashes.
Bartender's one of my favorite games.
Dude. You know, the only way it'd be cool is if like there were hot chicks on the other side of the bar and you could actually learn how to make real drinks.
What if you were Isaac from the Love Boat and that was your game?
That would be cool.
That would be sweet.
Isaac.
I would do that. I would be Isaac from the Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
He's definitely had sex before.
At least once or twice. You can totally tell. the doc, dude.
Oh,
He was like supposed to be the most swingingest swinger, and he's like, just look back. You're like, nah.
I'm the doctor, bro.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was really packing. So the ladies were like, yeah, that's the guy.
Captain Steuben was the stud, though.
Yeah, he was a stud. Anybody that has no hair, stud.
These environments
Speaking from experience.
are very impressive.
Right, is that beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminds me of Village.
It does. I was saying before you came in, like, this game impressed me in so many ways where sometimes you turn around, you look and you go, wow, you can, there are points you can tell as an indie developer, and then you turn around and you look and like, man, is this a AAA developer? I mean, some of this stuff looks like Konami did it. Like, it definitely gives you that level of detail. Super good in some spots.
So here's the first puzzle.
Uh-oh.
You got these panels on the floor that open the gates. These bars that are in the door. You step on it, and they open. So obviously, this is one of those sliding puzzles we've seen 100 times, right? Where you have to grab something and.
You were supposed to go different level. How does it feel? You're like, oh man, I got to get through this to get to the next part. Subtasker says, hey players. What's up, Subtasker?
What's up, man? I'm just gonna explaining it. People have to think a little bit more legislative.
Yeah, plus you, like I said, you've already gone through this, so you don't want to get through as quickly as possible for your own sanity.
One more.
So, Mash, you weren't thinking Richie's Plank was going to be putting out a platformer when you last time you played it a year ago or whatever?
That wouldn't have been the first thing I thought of after Richie's Plank, right?
This is crazy how some
Cool
devs some devs have so many different ideas and they can jump from project to project and nail it every time they go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Did you notice like the homage they paid homage to Richie's Plank in the game? There's in one of the levels where you drop, you kind of like you're on a beam.
Yeah, and you over there to
Yeah.
yeah, you see right there it says Richie's Plank, right? Actually, I don't remember why I was standing there, or somehow I looked over and noticed that. I was like, oh shit, thought that was cool. And then I thought it was even cooler when they paid homage to the Skiva, because everybody should.
Great.
That was great. Expensive too, 1,500. Ain't cheap.
Love how these old horror games put all this old artwork on the walls.
Duggars K is asking about the haptics. Is there haptics?
Yep,
in the,
absolutely.
A lot of head haptics, or?
No, there's not a ton of head haptics, but the haptics in the controllers are definitely present.
Yeah, I still don't see how they go, and with just no controllers. That's just weird to me. Haptics are just too important to me, in my opinion.
Right. Sound effects are super well done in this game as well. Like the ambient noise.
Yeah, it's the most important part for is sound in a horror game, right? Like Mash was saying, it does a really good job of like building tension. Yeah, kind of like that. What was that other game, Mash, that you mentioned from back in the day? Dread Halls.
Dread Halls, yeah.
And that was the main reason why that game was even scary, was that the sound was so good, and it always made you gasp. You always felt like something was around the corner every time. Yeah, Subdastic, I said that last puzzle seemed like a drag. Literally, right? What is that? What was that thing you had to pick up?
I think it's some kind of collectible.
Okay.
So there
one
are
of
3
3.
of them. Yeah.
Looked like a pillow or something.
It was a.
It's like something. Let's put it this way: if I was walking in a house and I saw that, I'm definitely picking it up. Like, this fucking thing needs to be in my pocket.
It was a
or maybe
elephant.
not. Yeah. Okay. You ever wonder that sometimes? You're like collecting things, picking things up, and you're like, "This was real life. Would I really pick this up?" Nah.
Never.
I only have so many pockets. I guess if I had unlimited pockets, like a lot of these games give you.
The chick won the lottery like 3 times.
Which chick?
Oh, did you see these video cassette tapes? They were funny. The names of the videos.
Yeah, I looked at them. Some of them are. Oh no, these are better. The last time I was in here, you couldn't read some of them, but they're all better now.
The hack tricks was for like the Matrix, and then Spatial Soldiers.
I wonder what's on this one.
Spatial.
You know who else that likes to get a facial from soldiers? Oh, you said Spatial Soldiers. Never mind. I'm so sorry. That's a totally different movie.
Oh, I scratched.
Scratch. Oh.
Did you try and smoke the cigarette, Wes?
Yeah, I didn't this time. I did the first time, and it decreased my stamina.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. And you got to go find more of those energy drinks.
Try to shoot pull, but it's not very easy.
Oh, not everybody's good at pool. Oh, you're talking about in the VR. Gotcha. So dark. It's the only thing that's bad about dark games. And
I could use the flashlight more. I guess it would make it better for people watching the stream.
yeah, it's just
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you.
Michael! It's George! Are you
what
there?
happened to society, man. We used to have cool songs about stalking people, and you know, like everybody got all soft and shit, and now everybody's all crazy. That's a good video.
It was a good video. There's another cigarette. I'm not touching it. Those are bad.
What happens if you touch it?
It decreases your stamina.
Oh.
You can't run as long.
Oh man. Well, that's even if you just touch it.
No, you can touch it, but if you smoke it.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, what happens if you wear those high heels?
I was wondering.
you walk slower. Oh wait, no.
You get rewarded.
yeah, you get a bonus.
You get a boner.
Oh man.
You get to compete with a different group of swimmers.
With a whole bunch of cool medals. Damn.
Space Dennison says, "What up? What up, Space?
What up, bro? Welcome."
You get more evil men chasing you. That probably is very true. 100%.
Now this is a badass door. I need this door in my house.
Hey, that kind of look. How cool would that door be if it was Han Solo instead?
Carbonite?
Yeah, dude, that'd be
That'd be
fucking
awesome.
cool.
Hell
You
yeah,
open it up, Harrison Ford steps out. Hey, what's up? Probably be expensive though.
Oh, it's George. Or am I George? I'm George, I think. I think that's Michael. George Michael.
George
Michael, yeah.
Uh-oh, that guy looks scary.
He looks fine. Like
Yeah, Mash said he's about an hour and a half in. You guys are about the same amount in.
Yeah, I got a little bit further to go. The last thing I did was open that badass door that we just walked by.
Oh yeah, I went a little bit past that.
Listen to Mash.
No,
Oh, that's the wrong one. Never mind. Damn it, Radio Run.
Mike?
Which one is it?
Close your eyes. Wes?
This man legitimately
What the hell?
that he is better than us.
Oh my god. Michael!
says, do not move your head or hands. So you have to literally hold still while this guy's looking at you.
What if you do?
I don't know.
Wes is like, I never found out, and I was not going to find out this time.
It's one of those things.
I would
like,
almost be tempted. You know,
Harvey
like
Weinstein,
like,
when he
can't-
starts looking
How
at
dare you
you
tell
have
me
to.
what to do?
yeah, you can't tell me what to do.
Wow, there's another cool door. Made you look.
It's not a door.
If I've been here, I don't remember being in this room yet.
Really?
No, this is new to me. Well, I found one of two, whatever that is. One thing I wish that this game did let you do is kind of go through drawers and like scavenge and look for stuff, but there is.
I
none of
wish you
that.
could have grabbed that thing that you just got one or two of, and it told you what it was in detail, had a little description, and you could actually grab it and like rotate it and look at it. You know what I mean? Like it just pops up for a second and then disappears into like the ether. It's like, what the fuck? Like you said, I'm grabbing whatever this is. Well, I'd love to know what it is.
It's a Necronomicon. That's why it vanished like that.
No, that's true. Well, the elephant was too, right? It disappeared.
Still don't have a.
Those
key.
are like quality of life things, right? It's not like would
That's the
make
difference
game.
between. That's the difference between a game from Capcom and a game from Indie
Correct.
Studio.
Right, they've only got so much time and resources to make the game
And,
good.
and by the way, I do believe that Noctis deserves a little credit here because, you know, originally they were going to put their flat game do not open into VR. That was the original plan. And after that game came out, hold on, we have some voice acting.
Alexa, I don't know what's happening here, but I need to find Julia and Anne.
What happened?
It's Mike. I saw him. I think he's infected. He attacked me.
Calm down. George, take a breath. Did it hurt you?
Lee VR wants to know,
No,
is this
I dodged
controller or
him.
does Wes have his
George,
elbows
listen
tied
to
to
me.
his hips?
You need to get out of that house right now. Call the police and tell them what you've seen.
No, I can't leave without Julia and Anne.
I'm
I have to find
playing
them.
seated.
George, leave the house and wait for the police to arrive. Please, think about your safety.
I mean, I could move.
I
things
can't
around
risk
if I
calling the
wanted to.
police, and I can't leave Julia and Anne here. Lexa, I can't. I have to find them before
So
it's
fast.
too
Says,
late.
Calm down, have a cigarette, George.
Okay, but listen, I'll stay on
You
the
know you
line
want
until
it,
you're
Wes.
safe. Just get out of that house as
It's right
soon
there.
as possible.
It's like
Thanks.
calling to you.
I'll call you back.
It's so smooth and relaxing.
Hit your vape instead.
We're gonna
That's
take
true.
a minute. We're gonna take a break while I walk outside.
Yeah, the
We'll be
vape
back.
doesn't. Yeah, the vape doesn't hurt you.
At least it doesn't smell bad.
That's true. And it tastes good.
Anyway, as I was saying, that they were originally going to put their first game, their flat game, do not open into VR. But after it
With
came
this, I can make the elevator work.
out, it became evident pretty quickly that, holy crap, OVRDARK. It became evident pretty quickly that that game really wouldn't work very well in VR. So to their credit, instead of making that game VR, they just made a VR sequel to it in like a year and a half. And that's what this game is.
Right. Did you play the flat one to get the context?
I did not.
Did you watch a breakdown? Remember how
No.
people were about Half-Life Alyx? They're like, dude, you can't play this if you don't know like the backstory. You gotta watch the backstory. Like I still don't know what the fuck's going on in that universe. I played the game, finished it. I don't know what they were talking about. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was Half-Life. It was okay. Right, Mash?
I never played it. Any good?
Yeah, nah, it's trash.
Yeah. Did see the gunman contract was finally coming to the Quest though.
Really?
The actual whole game from that mod.
So they made it a game, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, that's kind of what we kind of were hoping the mod that they would be somebody would be start doing with the source. That's what they did with the original Half-Life source, right?
Yeah, that's one I haven't been into a while. We should probably take a look at that again and see if there's any new stuff in Half-Life.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's.
We all have
probably
new
a ton.
hardware too.
Yeah.
That'd be worth checking out for that reason. Because I think when we played through Half-Life, I don't even know if I had a 3080 Ti. I think I had a 2080.
No!
Yeah, I know.
That's so dirty. It's funny though, man. Well, I know. That's what I was thinking. I can't wait for my 4090 to get back up.
So heavy facial haptics. My skull is vibrating heavily right now.
Yeah, and that was the only time I felt it in the game, though. Was that fair for YouTube? It shocked me when it was there because I hadn't felt it up to that point.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, no, my roommate now is like actually has a really good computer and like working her way up to
Julia,
amazing
how many
life.
times do I have to tell you not to come in here?
I'm sorry, Dad. I just wanted to see
That
the
was a pretty
swords.
decent scare there, Wes, right? This was one of those scares I was talking about earlier that like really freaked me out, man.
Honey, look at me.
Even with me knowing
I wasn't
coming,
allowed to
it
play
was
here
still
either
pretty
when I was
scary.
little, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Was it scary the first time?
Why not?
Oh yeah, it got killed me the first
This
time.
house is much older than you and me combined. It's got strange and ancient things.
I specifically
Once while I
didn't
was
pay
playing
attention
here,
to
I
what was
cut
going on.
my hand with a rusty knife.
Ouch. Did it hurt?
A lot. And I was so scared that Aunt Judith would find out I didn't say anything.
I'm telling you, this little girl is good
The
at
wound
using
got
her
infected.
words.
I got sick, and they had to take me to the hospital. You understand why I don't want you to come in?
Dad, what's that stain on the wall?
What's that stain on the wall, Dad?
Man, if I had a quarter every time I heard that.
Yeah, I know, right? Mommy was supposed to clean that up. All right, so I'm pretty much where I was at before. I just gotta go upstairs now. That didn't take too long.
Definitely not an hour and a half this time.
All right, that's my save right here. So we're back.
There you go. You got there pretty quick.
What's that guy doing? Just hanging out with the black mold. dude's a little bit fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm supposed to run here or what. Because I was moving slow, bro.
I don't want to tell you. Let me tell you.
No, I'll figure it out. I'm
I was
going to
say
trust.
for the sake of the video, for the sake of the stream, you want me to tell you?
If it takes me too long, maybe. But I'm going to try slow one more time, and if that don't work, we'll run.
All right, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
No, just kidding. Like, I know. I don't know shit about this game. Black screen. I know. The dude straight up killed your frame rate. Don't look at him, Wes. Lee VR says, I think Wes's chair has a stain on it now.
I made it further this time, so apparently you've got to just take it easy.
The secret is to remember what you had to do in the beginning. When you first saw him.
It's not letting me stand up. It's like making me stay squatted. What the fuck?
You know who else loves to stay squatted? Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I just caught up to your what the fuck.
Oh, what did I... Shit. Yeah, I know when you have his attention that you're not supposed to move. But there's like no in between. It's like he's got his back turned to you, and then you're dead from across the room.
Yeah, remember what the game told you not to do in the beginning when you first saw him?
Yeah, don't move your hands.
You think about. And your
Yeah,
head.
don't move your head. Don't move your hands.
Yep, that's what you can do. Everything else, you just can't. Like your own head. You can move the character's head.
I wonder if I can get away with closing this door. Probably not.
Void Citizen says, Dick Wild's on sale for $1.50 on Epic.
It's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
You know who
I
loves
like Dick
wild? Dick.
Yeah, she does.
You think that game would still be fun today? It's been so many years since we played it.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I probably wouldn't have as much fun now. That's true. Rogue says Mash pretty much told you what to do anyway.
You had already figured it out. You knew what you were doing.
Yeah, he didn't spoil anything for me. I knew what to do. I just didn't know why that guy was able to move across the room in a single bound like that, like Superman.
Space Dennison says he's gonna find out. He picked it up.
Cool.
I enjoyed, especially the second one.
Crap.
But the first one I thought was harder, right? People complained it was impossible.
Trophy earned. Did
Or
I
not
die from the
impossible,
mold?
hard.
Yep, moldy areas without proper equipment can be fatal. Apparently, you can't go there. Yeah, but Dick Wild 2 was fun because of the co-op.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to move quickly, or more quickly, without moving my head and hands. See what happens with that.
Yeah, just run.
It's okay. As long as you just hold still while you're moving, you're good.
What if Michael J. Fox was playing this game? I wouldn't.
Start over.
Son of a bitch. That's probably not nice.
See, the bell was downstairs. I just feel like this dude's fucking around every corner now.
He is. Just don't move your head or your hands.
But you don't understand. Like, my favorite dance is the hokey pokey.
Yeah, it's true.
What am I supposed to do? Put my right hand in and not shake it all about? I mean,
Yeah. That is a conundrum.
it's the door block now, all of a sudden. That a bitch.
Roland says, "For whom the bell toll."
Dun, 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 dun. That's a little bit better than Kicks, Mash.
No way. There's nobody better than Kicks.
How old are those guys now? Like fucking 75?
Dude, they're still going too, man. They do this. They do this huge rock show in Baltimore called M3, which is like the monster, like just like a huge outdoor venue show. They have like 30 bands over the weekend.
You ever been?
Oh yeah, a couple times. Not in a long time, but yeah.
Well, you live in Florida now.
Yeah, a little closer.
How do you feel, Mash?
Not
Brad,
being paid tax for
your
it?
hangout buddy moved.
I know he's moved to Wisconsin. Like,
I know that's like as far away as I can imagine from a nice warm.
I need to talk to him and ask him why the hell you would move to Wisconsin. Like, who like goes like, hey, let's go to Wisconsin.
He said, remember, he said it was. Were you there that day? Well, for the CruCast, maybe you weren't.
Probably not.
They were. But it was, I think it was before the show. We were talking, or after the show, we were talking about it. I think it was before. And he said that they looked it up. It's cost of living. They wanted to be out. And I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, kind of exciting. Him and his wife going on an adventure, right?
Maybe they're
starting
cheese
new,
fans.
something fresh.
Maybe they love cheese.
That's true.
I mean, Radio Runt moved to Idaho.
Yeah, but that's that's not a unique thing for Californians. That's just one more place they're moving to trash.
They're moving to Austin, and they're moving to
Colorado. Yeah, Colorado or Colorado Springs. They said the #1 destination to go to until they trash it.
The new California.
Yeah, no. On its way. I can tell because I'm starting to feel squeezed out. And maybe not now, and maybe not next year, but down the road.
This bell keeps ringing like
For whom the bell tolls.
It sounds like a ring bell, like they're taking a moment to remember Owen Hart or something.
Who isn't taking? Yeah, who isn't taking a moment to remember Owen Hart?
Always remember to check your strap on.
Yeah.
reminds me of drifting through that harbor when I was ancient Chinese woman. Ruuts.
Oh yeah. What game was that?
The Pirate Queen.
Oh yeah.
How was that? Was it any good?
It was actually really good. Or
Yeah.
not really good, but good.
The story was
Yes.
really good.
Yeah.
They tried to
Definitely worth
stretch.
checking out.
They tried to stretch out the playtime with some generic gameplay, which kind of detracted from it a little bit. But there was some actual good gameplay in it too, a little bit, but mostly story was what was cool about it.
Void wants to know: is this our new home, sweet home?
I think I'm playing it like it's home sweet home. I don't think I need to be as slow and deliberate as I'm being. At least not yet.
You can do a breakdown.
1862. We've been trapped here for 2 weeks since we fled from the Battle of Antietam. Initially, she helped us, but this woman has trapped us. She whispers behind the door, lights fires, and instruments sound. I'm sure it's some kind of ritual. Oh, they were doing dark shit in this house.
They trapped him in there.
All the way back in 1862.
Yeah. It was when witches were witches.
Witches would
everybody
get
was
stitches.
That's when whores were witches.
That's true. The good old days.
Good old days when whores were witches and witches were whores.
Mm-hmm. Synonymous.
This place needs the Jesus radar in a bad way.
It really does.
You know, I talked to that guy today.
Oh yeah? How's this game doing? Or coming along? I mean, I released it.
Well, I mean, it was that was always his like solo project, like that he did in his off time. He is actually working with John Romero at Romero Games, and I don't know how much I should say. I don't know what he told me was supposed to be repeated, so I probably shouldn't say it. But he's doing
cool.
well.
That's cool though.
Yeah, he's like he's the lead animator on a project that they're working on.
That's awesome. Shades of Gray Matter says, "How's it going, guys? How's the game?"
Good so far. I hear somebody humming though, like eerily on the other side of this wall.
You hear a Hummer?
Yeah. Like an old
You know,
lady.
loves to give a Hummer.
Oh yeah, she does.
You don't take no shit from anyone.
Oh, there's a lady.
It was just D. Take no shit.
You're not taking any shit from anyone.
Talk to y'all later.
D, don't go. I want you to talk to you now. D, is it true you don't take no shit?
Oh no. I was gonna ask do you think she's into me, but I think she just made it apparent that she's not. Oh, I think we have a new puzzle here. This is very reminiscent of Layers of Fear, this room.
Really? Yeah, it does actually.
I'm sure this door is locked. Of course it is. Alright, let's go find out what the buttons do. Activate the
Yeah, you
canvas.
know, these haunted houses are always, the doors are always really locked shut, you know?
Yeah. They are weird like that. Alright, so I say we have to get them all level at the same height. That don't work. That don't work. And that don't work. So we have to turn it on somehow. Maybe we're messing these pictures. No, there's an invisible wall in front of the wall. Oh, thank you. I have a paintbrush. Like Bruce Leroy.
I think how something like a paintbrush tells you paintbrush, but those collectibles don't. You don't even know what that is. It doesn't tell you what it is, right? Like, that's just too funny. They really, I think if there's a way to add, I really would love to know what the collectibles are.
They're hallucinations.
Yeah, well, that's very possible. Do you get to draw?
Isn't everything a hallucination?
Yeah, it could be. Could be that this whole fucking world's. Have you seen that video? Or I don't know exactly. There's like footage of that bridge that got collapsed. I think it's after, but like these birds fly and they just disappear, and it's like clearly AI footage. Not saying the bridge didn't get destroyed and everything that happened didn't happen. I'm just saying that particular footage that was being shown after the fact was not real. You know, the birds just disappeared. It just makes you wonder how much of what we're watching is not like actually for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why it's just weird.
But the pilot turned on. And who else turned the pilot on?
Yeah, she loves to turn them on. So Shades of Grey says, man, that inventory sound was straight out of Silent Hill. Is there like a sound in the inventory?
What's the sound when you're too close to the wall? Oh, there it is.
You found it?
You need to activate the canvas mechanism. I can't throw the paintbrush at it. Apparently that's a no-no.
Still think you should be able to draw.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I think we might have to backtrack a little bit. What the fuck is this all about? Or maybe do I have to catch the paintbrush on fire, maybe? No? I'm not supposed to backtrack that much, I don't think. I always wonder what's up with this ladder here too, because you can move it, you can't climb it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why would they give you the ability to move it? Right?
Right. Right. It's got to be part of some puzzle or something. So did I make it to where you're at yet, Mash?
Yep, you passed me now.
Okay.
Shades Gray said, did the ladder knock over a vase up there? Maybe you need to use it to knock the vase down.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Didn't do anything.
No, it just resets when you leave the room. I know I'm just missing something that's probably fairly obvious. I just haven't seen it yet. Power cleaner, that's my favorite type of detergent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can find something that fit in that frame. Maybe I can. My problem is when I get in these situations, I try to overthink it. Like I start studying the art to look for clues, and it's never as fucking complicated as I've been working in my brain. It's not messing with any of the, oh, wait a minute. Why is that one just black? It can't be
OVRDARK.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I know, right? I don't think that it's any of these messing with these pictures because there's like an invisible wall in front of the wall that keeps you from touching stuff. I mean, the logical thing would be that there's something over here with these canvases. They gave you a fucking paintbrush.
Right. It's almost like that. That's why they gave it to you, right? Kind of make you think paint.
You would think so.
Plus, it's Easter this weekend. I don't know what that has to do with it, but it is true.
I mean, I don't know what to do other than fucking paint on the canvases. Like,
Shades of Grey says, I think the drawing at the pilot light and the drawing on the washing machine are maybe related somehow.
yeah, that's what made me notice the thing, but I turned the dial and pushed the fucking buttons. It didn't do anything. Go back out there and mess with that a little bit more. Yeah, that's what made me notice it was the drawing. This is already on and I can't do anything else with it, so this is in the correct position. Well, there we go. I just didn't have it set to the right setting apparently.
You gotta put it on extra watch.
Right.
Really
Gentle
weird.
cycle.
Yeah, there you go. You got your delicates in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Now we have a stuffed box. I bet that's just another one of those fucking collectibles. Yep. That's all
Pretty
that
cool you
is.
found it though.
Yeah. There's one more. And by the way, Roots, the explanation is that's a stuffed fox.
It's a fox. You know what it is, right? That's
Now
true.
we have an elephant and we have a fox.
Yeah,
That
but
don't
what does the
get me
fox say?
through this fucking door.
What does a fox say? Oh, I don't know.
So what are we missing here? So obviously there's a missing canvas. Can I pick one of those up off of the easel? I think I've tried already, but let's two-hand it. See if that'll work.
You know who loves two-handed?
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah. All the time. Too much, actually.
So there's a missing picture to goes in this frame over here. Haven't been able to really pick very many of them up. Maybe I gotta really mess with some of this stuff. Why the paintbrush though?
S1 Mon says VR says good morning from Norway.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Oh yeah, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's late, huh?
I'll have to wrap it up soon. I gotta figure this fucking puzzle out because I'm not gonna be able to sleep if I don't.
I'll be able to sleep.
Mash is like, I'm already falling asleep. Mash.
I'm
Maybe
assuming
it's-
you gotta paint a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to find some paint somewhere though. That's the thing. Because it won't let me use any of the paint that's on the thing here.
Oh wait a minute. That paintbrush you found, wasn't there a door that had, or something that had? There was a statue that had
Oh,
had a thing that you could put a paintbrush in.
we could try that. Yeah, you're right. It was close
Shit.
too.
Yeah.
It was
Scott,
like,
Scott, the PSVR game cat for life says, well, hello there, my virtual friends.
hello, sir. Welcome. Here it is. Oh, there you go. Good call, Mash. Did you get that from the chat, or are you really just that bright?
No, I just remember seeing it when I was playing. I remember the statue.
I bet that fucking asshole's gonna be back in here.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've seen him, right?
Oh, look, Brutes, the fucking rug's messed up in here, too. This looks bad.
It's very bad.
Something bad's happening here.
He's in there, but he's touching himself.
Yeah, well.
Daddy,
Leave
what's
me
that
alone.
stain on the wall? It's another button puzzle.
Is he in there?
Man, these fucking graphics look really good sometimes, you know it?
Yeah, they really do.
So we have a trophy. First place trophy. Save to inventory. These buttons do anything? They do.
First place.
They make noise. Oh, the puzzle can't be that fucking easy, can it? 1. There's 2. There's 4. There's 1. There's 3. So 1, 2. 3. 4. The second one didn't make noise though. I might have went too quick. that door's locked. So let's go a little bit more slowly this time. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Yep, it really was that easy. That's like one of the puzzles from Propagation.
Yeah. Oh, and
What
it's
a
like,
good game.
push the button. You need to push the button.
Owen. Such a good actor.
Give me the
Whoever
gun.
voice acted that is amazing.
I have the gun. You go first.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I have the painting. Oh crap. That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I thought that lady looked a little creepy.
Oh, and there's constellations on the ceiling glowing as well. Huh. I'm sure that's some sort of a clue for a later puzzle. Alright, I'm not going to dwell on it. Stop following me, bitch.
Simon says VR says this must look amazing with the OLED screens.
Oh, it does. It's awesome. That reminds me I should be using my flashlight for people. Okay, she stopped following me, I think. I'm gonna save my progress.
I like how Wes keeps checking. He's like, is she there? Well, that's a very unique saving mechanism. Never really seen that in a game before.
No. Very unique.
Duggars K wants to know if you're blinking. Laughing and then laughed out.
I'm
Laughing face.
winking. Alright, let's get the thing and see. There we go. Boom. Oh, it's only part of it. Shenanigans. Alright. I gotta go back to the trophy case. I remember seeing some of these trophies on a shelf upstairs, I think. I think it was upstairs. Maybe not this upstairs, but the other upstairs.
So Roland says, so this is mostly a puzzle game?
Yeah, pretty much. It's got some stealth elements to it as well, but it's mostly just a puzzle game.
Radio Runt would love it. Oh wait, he hates horror.
Oh crap. Don't move. Stop staring at me, Swan. Okay. I guess they just want to remind me that that dude's still around. Yeah,
Just remind you he's there.
This is the place where I saw the trophies at.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna smoke this fucking cigarette. It's still lit. And it's huge. The cigarette's like the size of a cigar. My stamina sucks already, so it doesn't really matter. So take our puppy out and put it on the shelf. Have to put them in order, maybe? Yeah, that's what it is. There we go. There's the other half of the painting. Boom. Just like that. I hear this fucking asshole somewhere.
You're safe.
It's totally safe.
This is just a walking sim. You're fine.
Yeah, you're good. Just move your head, shake your hands a lot, and you're good to go.
The rug is all fucked up.
Do you find it weird that this woman keeps calling you and telling you to get the fuck out of there, and you just keep going, no, I'm scared, but I can't leave.
I've got to find...
Find Anne and whatever.
Yeah, I gotta find the
There's
amazing
a zombie
little
here
girl.
who's chasing me in a statue, but I need to stay.
Well, speaking of zombie, Corporate Zombie says, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Corporate Zombie.
And then Mr. Moose says, have you been drinking the drinks?
I found
In the
two
game.
of them. I found two of them.
And you drank them?
Of course. Don't you drink everything you find?
In real life, yeah, you just go into a random house, you start drinking shit. Yeah, this looks safe.
Boom.
There it is.
Yeah,
You solved the puzzle.
I did. Now I'm gonna get my lady prize. She's gone. She didn't even leave her chair. She took the chair and all. She got the gold mine and I got the shaft. Alright, so I probably should stop here before people pass out. How long have we been going, Ruuts? Probably a little while now.
According to my stream right now, since I opened it up, and since you took over for this game, 2 hours, almost 3 hours. So, I can't tell totally because we, had our session on my OBS and then that also got stopped. We're probably it's 2 a.m. What time did we start? At 10? Or 11?
We started at like a quarter till midnight your time. So right around.
Oh, really? So we've only been going about 2 hours and 40 minutes then maybe?
Yeah, that's not too bad. This sounds
I mean,
about...
it's it's almost 2:30 here.
Crap. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap it here. I'll probably keep playing, honestly, because I'm hooked on it and I don't want to stop.
Corporate Zombie has one more question. It says, this looks aptly named. Is it overly dark?
It is for Ruuts.
Yeah.
It's way over dark for Ruuts.
I found the kitchen.
Cool. Cook you up some dinner.
That actually doesn't sound like such a bad idea.
I'm down too. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. It's 4:30.
Oh, it's just about breakfast. Your family's about to wake up.
Yeah, right. My wife's getting ready to go to work.
I don't eat breakfast for breakfast. I eat lunch for breakfast.
That's right.
Well, I found a heart. There's a heart in the freezer. Perfect. It's a goat's heart.
And talk about eating something. Now I'm hungry. Who doesn't want to eat a goat's heart?
Is it beating?
Roland says 9:25 in France a.m.
Well, good morning, France. That's what I like about you, kid. You've got heart. Goat's heart. Curriculum vitae of Amari and Nia LaFollette. Graduated
How could you tell it was from a goat?
because it
Oh.
said goat's heart. Yeah. Moreover, as demanded in preferences, we are knowledgeable practitioners and experts in the Vodun religion.
Mr. Moose says, "Drink that drink."
Was there a drink?
You got
in
it
here?
saved. Why not? Let's see what happens. Do it.
Oh, there is a drink in there. I didn't even notice it.
You can do this, Russ.
Don't do it, Wes. Don't do it.
I think
All
you
right.
should. I think he. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice and tasty. Stamina increased. We did it.
I'm gonna let him kill me.
Oh.
So I am digging it. This is a pretty cool game. It has all of the charm of an indie game, but it has some real production behind it. The puzzles are challenging enough to make you think every now and again, but they're not so challenging that you're just going to get frustrated and throw your headset. I think you would like it, Ruuts. It's a shame you can't play it.
Yeah. It's a rip off. No, I think we got the answer. I can fix it. I can fix this.
You can do it.
I feel it.
Yeah. Well,
Fix it if you dare.
I think that's going to be our show for tonight. Let us know what you think about OVRDARK and Max Mustard in the comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and give us a thumbs up if you didn't like the video.
Absolutely.
We should be back, I think, on Sunday, although Sunday is a holiday, so I'm not sure how that's going to kind of play into our schedule. But I'm sure we'll be able to do a show at some point, right, Ruuts?
Yeah, we should be able to.
Yeah.
Maybe after I get back from eating and stuff.
Right, probably same here, because we're going in like mid-afternoon, I think. So,
Okay.
so yeah, maybe we'll go a little bit later than we normally do. But we'll be back on Sunday to talk some news, if there is any. And if not, then we'll probably just talk about, I don't know, football. That's basketball, I guess, right now, right?
Yeah, I think it's basketball season, man. I think I love the touchdowns and stuff. Oh wait, it's the wrong sport, right? I'm just kidding.
I love it when the players run fast and they make touchdowns. It's my favorite sport.
Yeah, my favorite for sure.
Anyway, welcome back, Eric. Thanks for sticking it out. We hadn't been going too late. We just only do that especially for you.
Yeah,
I love it. Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Yeah.
You don't take no shit from anyone.
D, why don't you take any shit from anyone? That's not right. You gotta take a little shit now and then.
Talk to y'all later.
Okay. See you later.
He's like, fuck you, I'm out.
Talk to you all
Anyway,
later.
thanks to everyone in the chat who stayed up late or got up early to hang out with us here. We will be back soon in just a couple of days. Until then, yeah, have a good weekend. And with that said, we're Ruuts and Eric. I'm Wes. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Easy.
See you later.
Let's see if I can remember how to do this now. Outro. Go.
You can do it.
You can do it.